Welcome everybody to the VAIL VRML Season 2 EU Semifinals pre-show. My name is Nightfire with two E's. I am joined by my co-caster Chumbait this afternoon. Chum, quickly, how are you feeling today? It's going to be a long day, but a good one.
It's going to be long. You're right about that, but I think time will fly, especially in the chat. We're going to have a bunch of fun tonight.
We are indeed. We do have a couple of series to get into this afternoon, but before we dive into all of that, we got to talk about how we got here, because it has been a tremendously long road of time invested. In some cases, 12 weeks from these teams playing out over the course of the regular season. You look at Acer and Meeks, they both have 12 games played throughout the regular season. These two squads at least have been around since the beginning of Season 2 and beyond in that regard. But these squads have been playing for 12 weeks of regular season gameplay to qualify in as the top 6 teams, where we then held a double elimination tournament. That tournament has been going on for weeks at this point now. Started last year in December, where we had Poise, Access Denied, Meeks, Sunset Ravens, IV, and Team Juice all duking it out. Acer EU getting a automatic qualification into that second round based off of their seeding in the regular season. And ultimately, it turned out to be a really stellar tournament, Chum. I mean, when we look back at some of these clips, when we look back at some of the regular season highlights, you know, there's some tremendous plays that are coming out of these top squads.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we saw some incredible plays from some underdogs, actually, during this postseason games. One of which is Meeks, which is one of the teams that we're going to be watching fighting against Acer EU in the first match today. Yeah, I mean, Meeks is one of the underdogs. They did brilliantly, really exceeded expectations, and you know, you saw that in the live chat, you know, the replay that you can see here on YouTube. But we also saw some, you know, big classics. I mean, Acer putting in some work and really saying something. You know, they came up on stage and they dropped the mic. IV as well, what a comeback. And you can see here in the chat, it is an IV era, according to many in the chat.
Yeah, well, we're looking at the IV highlights up against Acer EU and some other squads, Team Juice, teams that they have battled up against over the course of this postseason tournament. And yeah, they're going to be a formidable squad, to say the least, both in EU and NA. And then obviously, of course, right, we do have Meeks, a team that has, like you said, played very well throughout the course of this regular season, a team that is going to be going up against Acer EU first in the afternoon. And it's one of the first games that we're going to be diving into today, Acer EU and Meeks. We got here, again, essentially through this tournament. If you look at that past bracket, Acer beat Poise to qualify into the semifinals. Meeks beating IV and Sunset Ravens, qualifying in to go up against Acer. And so I think this is the big matchup of the afternoon, obviously. But the loser here, Chum, goes up against IV. And we got to pull up IV's roster to take a look at the IV EU squad. But they are a team, again, that is formidable. Ranked third, coming in at 6-1, but not a team that's played all season long, right? So maybe there's going to be that sort of element coming into play here this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, Ivy during the season, they've kind of been a big unknown, especially at least to me here on the casting desk. But from the clips that we've seen in their highlight reel, there are some really big fraggers on this team. I mean, Fraza, Bleach, and T, just to name a few. I mean, these players are really phenomenal, and yeah, they seem to be getting just their cohesion seems to be getting stronger and thicker after each map they play here in the postseason.
I mean, it is the postseason, right? And when we talk about postseason, we got to talk about what is at stake. Because at the end of the day, it's a cash prize coming in from our sponsors, Axe Labs, Pro2 VR. We really do appreciate the support there. But Axe Labs contributing in 10 grand overall this season. So we have 1,500 on the line for first place and 700 on the line for second. And these are money rounds, Chum, right? I mean, the winner here today, at least, Acer versus Meeks, is going to be guaranteeing at least $700 for their season.
Exactly, yeah. It's a lot of pressure. I mean, that's one thing that we all appreciate about this community is that they really value competition, and they really, the whole I think tradition of competition and being just at their top of their game. Yeah, it's a lot. It's not just that cash prize. It's also the how strong this community is. There's a lot of pride on that title. So yeah, there's a lot of weight.
Yeah, and I argue that's all thanks to Axe Labs. Their support to the esports scene has really ignited the fire under a lot of these players to play this game as competitively as they have. And I think, frankly, we might be seeing a lot of new players coming in, maybe watching the stream here that have come in from the free-to-play update. And you're really going to see today the best of the best for the EU region and the NA region. NA is a little bit later in the afternoon. We'll be doing a whole pre-show there. So be sure to tune in to that later today. But immediately coming up is the EU series. So again, Acer EU versus Meeks. The loser goes up against IV. And we're about 13 minutes away from the start of that first series. So for those wondering, when's the game coming? It's coming. We're in the pre-show right now. Okay, we're looking at highlights. Okay, we're looking at clips. We're looking at these the teams that we are going to be watching this afternoon, and it's going to be these three squads. And ultimately, Chum, we're going to have to sort of predict who we think is going to come out on top. And I mean, you cut the highlight reel. You've watched some of the best clips from the postseason from these teams. What is your sort of opinion on who you think is going to come out on top for our first game and our second game this afternoon? Because at the end of the day, two teams qualified through to the grand finals to play out tomorrow in that best-of-5 series. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I don't want to come off as superficial, but you gotta kind of, I'm feeling, yes, I picked the best frags from each team, but I'm feeling the energy from the community. Maybe it's judging a book by its cover, but I think the cover was made for a reason, and I think the prestige and the weight that Acer, that brand has on this EU roster for VAIL, I think they've got that prestige and confidence, behind them. They've got that wind in their sails. I'm gonna say for this first matchup, which is again Acer EU versus Meeks, one matchup out of the 3 today, or the 2 today. It's gonna be tight, but I have a feeling I'm leaning towards Acer. I'll just spit it out.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a good bet. It's a good guess. I think community would probably lean on that side. Maybe we'll do a poll within YouTube to figure out where people are leaning, if it's Acer EU or Meeks for our first game of the afternoon. But a reminder, we have 2 series, 2 best-of-3s today. So be sure to stick around at the end of this one. We got another one coming, and then North America later in the afternoon. You can find that live stream up right now on the live section if you want to prepare for it. But yeah, that's at 3 p.m. PST, 6 Eastern. So a lot of VAIL action today, to say the least. And that all starts in about 10 minutes for us right now. So what that means is that we are going to take a break. I'm not going to get away without putting my prediction in. I know I almost did there. I'll go Acer EU as well. We'll put 2 down for Acer EU this afternoon on the casting desk, and I'm sure some folks at home are going to be real upset about that. But I think, to your point, Meeks is going to have a good shot this afternoon. Acer is not undefeated. They're 10-2 on the regular season. There's a real chance that a 9-3 squad like Meeks is sitting right underneath them to win. So we're in for a good matchup. That's what I can assure the folks at home. So you are going to want to stick around, but we are going to go to a brief intermission for about 10 minutes, and when we come back, we'll be diving into map number 1 of Acer EU versus Meeks. Do not go anywhere. The EU semifinals kicks off in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. We're here and minutes away from diving into round number 1, map number 1 of Acer EU versus Meeks and Chum. Let's dive into the stats this afternoon between these two squads. What are we seeing? What do we think Acer EU and Meeks are going to bring to the table based off of 12 weeks of regular season play?
Out of 12 weeks, competition was fierce in the EU region. These two teams that we're seeing right now, Acer EU and Meeks, they've only gone up head-to-head during the season twice. Acer EU winning both times 27 points. The first time, back in week 1, Meeks lost with only 10 points. But around, I think, week 8 or 9, Meeks lost with 15 points. Again, Acer winning both of those matchups with 27 points. 9 points on all 3 maps. Those are the stats for the season.
Those are the season stats, but we're here into the postseason now, and anything goes when we're into the postseason, and we don't have to wait much longer to see how this is going to unfold, because these teams are ready. We got the full lobbies good to go over on the Acer squad. We have John Yakuza, Mott, Pike, Tactical Pan, and Taz Gaming. And over on Meeks, we have 24 Gray, Apaza, Isabel? Oh gosh, we went over that last time. Isabel, Random Arrows, and Civ. And we're firing things up on Suna to kick off our EU semifinals. There's 2 games this afternoon, 2 series this afternoon, 2 best of 3s. And this is the first. It's starting up here, and we're into the prize money, Chum. The winner here guarantees themselves at least $700 in cash and a chance at $1,500 for first place.
It really is an exciting match. I mean, both of these teams have come so far, and they've been absolutely working their butt off. Look at this big push by Tactical Pan. This is the pistol rounds, only the first round. An early smoke deployed by the Rayab, and they're scanning. Crosshairs in the smoke.
Little 1-for-1 trade there as we do get in to a center exchange that leads us with what seems to be a bit of a stalled out offense here. They're not even pushing the scan, and they tossed it back into the middle hall so that they don't risk it dropping too far up onto the offense, but they have lost another in their effort to push out towards A or B. It was an interesting center push. We've seen that work several times where teams actually push from the center up towards a site. But this afternoon, that was nicely stalled by Mott, but Mott goes down. It leaves the on-site defense low with John Yakuza scooping up 1. And 2 more to go. Here comes the rotation right into the likes of Isabel, who finds the first. Needs 2 more, though, if they want to help their team. And nice little flash around the corner, stalling out that center rotation. Long-range fight going on. And look at another swing around. We're going back to B-site here, Chum.
Yeah, it's unbelievable movement here. They're pushing on through. They're a little bit down to a 2v2, and now it's all left up to Taz to defend the B-site. They find a headshot. Can they make it a second? Random goes down. A beautiful 3K here on the first round of this series.
Nicely done from Taz on site to hold things down, and they start off their series with 3 kills. We could see some runaway players this afternoon, Chum. Both these teams have rosters that are packed with very skilled VAIL players. Players that can push up to those double digits, even in some cases that 20 bomb in a ranked match. You know, and in the postseason, anything can happen. So we're going to see what we get as rifles get tossed into the hands of these players and they get settled into their comfort.
Yeah, Taz definitely setting in onto the B side. They did brilliantly defending against that 24 Gray flank push. and ended up with that 3K. We see a headshot trade between Civ and Tactical Pan this time. A little bit more conservative from Pan on the ribs. Taz finding a headshot. That's one of the colonists here trying to push B.
Oh, look at the swing out from Pike. They catch a double kill. A nice double that sets things off for the defense for another point. Acer EU in a nice position here. Four alive. Taz still healthy and Gray low on HP.
We'll see if Taz can snag another kill onto Gray. No, it's Mott to finish it off. Acer EU going strong. 2 points on the board for map 1. Yeah, I mean, Tactical Pan really doing an incredible job night. With that early shutdown there on round 1 against 24 Gray, who has been shown to push on the B side alone very often in these postseason matches. Tactical Pan was calling their bluff, and there they were with Mott, you know, that duo doing brilliantly to stave off that Rayab contest onto the B site. And the Rayab, the colonists, they just dropped that scanner. And yeah, this round was too difficult to salvage. Beautiful play by Tactical. They found a headshot.
Nades come in for support over the top to try and clean out any more. Gray finds Taz, limiting the on-site defense for B. And we might see the B rotation. We take a look at the overhead map, and you can see Scanner is going up through the middle, right in to Mott's line of sight. As Mott slowly rotates into the smoke, slowly on the hunt, and Scanner, yes, is going to swing around B. We go back on site. Pike with a jump shot. Gray jumps up for a check, and Pike catches one. They picked up the double last round, and now they're the only on-site defense. Getting reinforced. They'll pick up a second. Isabel goes down. On the hunt for more. They can't find it. Finally, Apaza shuts them down. Civ caught Mott on the other end, and it leaves John Cruiser alone in 1v2.
Oh, that nade was so close, but John is still full health. They managed to find Civ, but look at Apaza trying to swing for the other one. No, John gets tagged. Apaza still full health. Nade doesn't land. Close the pre-fire around. Does not work. Apaza swings out instead. Guns blazing. First point for Meeks.
I mean, that is such high-level play on utility from top to bottom. The smoke being utilized to swing in and out to catch those kills. Just perfectly timed to catch the scan going down to get that open kill, and then to be able to drop back into that smoke. The nade that just misses off their toes, the nade that just misses on the corner. A hard-fought victory for Meeks, but they're on the board now. They were going for that trio shutdown on the opening from Acer EU. He says, no, we're going to make this a little harder for you. Tactical Fan says, well, I'm going to find 3 kills. No, just 2.
Yeah, Civs puts an end to that, but look at Taz back on the B site. No one's contesting the right side of the map anymore. We see a smoke here through the pipes. Big pick by Mott. That's a big shutdown, a refrag onto Civ. An avenge kill for their Tactical Pan player back in the shuttle. Yeah, kind of a stalemate right now, but big odds to Acer EU at the moment. A 4v2 for them against Meeks.
Ooh, look at this rotation from John. They have been creeping and crawling to pinch up from the back end of this duo that's working their way up through the center, and they could get caught into a very tough spot in between essentially all of the defenders. But Gray with a vital kill on Mott enables this rotation. Apaza getting shots pinging all around them as they tuck in as tight as they can, and Taz says, I got that angle covered. Scoops up the kill they need. Acer tack on another point. Their defensive side so far on Suna going well, but I think that's pretty standard fare. I think Suna tends to lead a little more defensive favored. Usually you'll see maybe 2 to 3 offensive rounds get locked in, and so at this point Meeks really just need to chip away. Just really need, in my opinion, 3 offensive points before the side swap to have a fair shake at winning map 1 against Acer.
Meeks are playing well despite that round 4 loss. I like the way they're playing. They're impressing me, and it looks like they're impressing other people in the chat as well. I can't wait to see how Suna plays out.
See some folks asking, is this a best of 3 double 11? Right now, the loser here will advance on to play against IV right after this series. So it's a long day for whoever comes out with the loss this afternoon. So neither team wants that. They want to advance on clean to the finals tomorrow without having an extra best of 3 to go through up against IV. And we've had some trades that leave us into a 3v2 with B site in control of Meeks, and the retake going to have to come through from the duo on Acer.
And Meeks find themselves in another numbered advantage, and they have full control of the B site. They are aware 24 Gray is on the big flank watch, and they should see John coming in. We're talking about these high-skilled fraggers, but no, Gray, no. Their skill from Onward and now to VAIL does not translate. Mott there to shut down Isabella. Paza, last one up. No, Mott puts an end to that unbelievable retake from Acer EU side with plenty of time to defuse. That's going to make it 4-1 for Acer.
Like I said, any one of these players could step up and pop off, and Mott bumps their KD up off of a nice double kill to 5 and 3 on the half. And we'll take another look at that clutch from Mott, swinging out from short sight on B and then catching a Paza completely exposed. They were way out in the corner there, holding a nice long angle down the alleyway where they catch that long kill. But ultimately, good comms, I imagine, coming in from the team to you know, hey, get that kill, they're open, you know, they're exposed, go and rotate. And ultimately, again, a really nice double that leads us into a fast push coming in here onto the A side.
Oh, Mott deadly with that nade and the M kill. 24 Gray comes out. Mott gets shut down. Pickle Peak connects with the nade. They have the A site. The scanner's deploying, but look at Peak. They're still pushing on through. Taz falling right behind them. Apaza finds themselves in another clutch scenario. 1 versus 2. Smoke deployed out from Rayab.
What a interesting series here. Swinging out for the kill in a trade that goes down onto Acer EU's favor. Taz locking in a map W. And I see some folks asking, why is Acer orange? I'm not sure, but we'll allow it. I think it's just a game spectator bug. It ultimately makes it easier for us to see, but I don't believe this is what is represented in game, so don't have no concern.
Yeah,
but
I can confirm from mine it is just a bug. From mine it looks perfectly fine. We might have it resolved maybe next match. But yeah, no, beautiful work from Acer EU. They're really handling this Meeks kind of mystery really well. It seems like it's a 5-player push from Meeks. It seems like they want B so bad. Nades out from both sides, and they keep coming.
Coming out from Taz, trades down in a 1-for-1. On site, getting pushed in, a fast and a hard swing into our second to last round of the half before we swap, and a nade over the top is going to push Peak off. So it does leave us with a 2v2 and Scanner getting scooped up for it to go down at B.
Look at Apaza, they are always careful. Whether John Yakuza is ready for this. No, they're not. Big peekaboo, a headshot to clean it out. And look at the follow-up. Random pulls through on their side as well. That's 2 points for Meeks. Finally, they lock in a second point.
Takes us to 5-2, and like I said, I think really getting one more here on the half puts them into a decent side swap. And that's what's going to happen after this round. We are going to swap sides. We'll have a pistol round, and then rifles will be back into the hands of these teams. So an opportunity for Meeks to claw back a couple of points in a row here.
Keep your eyes peeled, folks. Really, anything could happen, but Scanner wants B once again. 3 Rayab sitting on it. Smokes and a nade. Time nades on perfectly cooked. Spots there. Oh my gosh, tactical pan does get shut down. 24 Gray with his redemption kill. Taz is there to respond. Look at Isabel coming in, frag for frag, up through the stairs. Mott takes a peek. They single-hand random.
Coming off the ladder, a beautiful pick, and the duo's trying to push on. The peak from Peak catches the kill, and it leaves Apaza alone, trying to deal with Mott on that ladder, who's been a real terror. And the rest of the team holding their angles nicely. Going to be very hard for Apaza to catch all 3. And they do still have Civ on that back end, who is coming in to reinforce. So Apaza is going to try and push up a little bit too early, in my opinion. They still don't have the reinforcement from their teammate Civ here.
These 2 smokes from both Colonist and Rayab, they actually deploy at the exact same time. Here comes Civ to the rescue. It sounds like Apaza's tagged. Civ is still full health. The time nade into the corner does nothing. There, nice. Down goes Mott. A clean headshot from Civ, and they're contesting another. John Yakuza says something.
Oh, the trade and the 1-for-1. It leaves us into a 1v1. HP in favor of Acer EU, and Meeks going to have to throw the scanner down in 20 seconds. So, Peak could play time. Apaza's trying to bait out the swing on the corner with the scanner plant. And there's 15 seconds. The commitment to the play has to come in. Apaza is going to push out, and Peak finds the kill. Acer EU 6-2. And we swap sides for Acer to now attack and Meeks to defend. And I gotta wonder how Meeks is feeling right now, Chum. You know, Acer attacking is definitely a scary thing when they're a team that's playing as well as they are right now. Absolutely.
I mean, just to single a player out, I mean, please do forgive me. Peak is absolutely brutal with these headshots here in the mid rounds on Suna. Beautiful work by Peak. Yeah, I think Meeks. I'm not sure where their head game is at, but they cannot let their morale drop. They need to continue full steam ahead.
This pistol round's going to be big, and with utility getting dumped down from Acer EU, they say, well, that's enough from us. Rotate out. Still a little bit of a fight here. Peak wants to be. Headshots you can see on the hunt for them there, but just missing over the shoulders of their opponent. And here comes the push up. Isabel looking to get involved, maybe even swing out from the smoke, catch them exposed down the long angle, and they can't. Peak catches a wonderful kill. Now the push coming in from the rest of the team. The rotation from A site is coming through, but Civ shuts down one, goes down in a trade.
That's big movement from Civ, kind of whittling down the remaining colonists. It's only 2 when there were 4 before. The scan does hit the site. It's all left up to random. First line of defense, we see some long-range angles from the 2 other players of Meeks. No, Mott goes down.
Little fire there, and up comes the shot. Random tactical pan has to clutch, and they do catch the double. Can they pick up all 3? Scanner is still down with 25 seconds left. Tactical pan nearly gets caught out. They're trying to play around Rosie, but they can't afford it, and Gray catches the kill with time to spare. The scanner interrupt coming in, and Meeks taking on their first and vital point here. Chum, I mean, that one was crucial for them to lock in.
Absolutely, but you gotta give it to Tactical Pan. Wasn't it Tactical who was the last up?
Yeah.
They put in so much damage against 24 Gray. Tactical was like maybe 20 health. 24 Gray was full health, and they put in so much damage. 24 Gray was around 30-40 health at the end of that engagement. Really good shots landing from both sides, and Meeks rightfully got that 3rd point on the board, but they have to keep that up. Acer, they're 6 points ahead.
3 points ahead. They have a 6-point lead.
6-point lead, sorry, that's what I meant.
Yes, indeed. To our first fight of round 10, we go. Rifles back into the hands. Catching kills early. Random arrows with a nade onto the main fragger for Acer EU. That's going to be very important for them as they push up here. I think things a little more difficult as Civ, Apaza, both connect. Tactical Pan and Taz going down, and now the duo's trapped in their commitment to this site on to B. The rotation's going to be tough to back out from with the on-site defense from Gray.
Unbelievable from Gray, lining up the last 2. I mean, the skills, the mechanics. The mechanical skill that you need to pull something off like that is absolutely astonishing. And 24 Gray, Nerves of Steel, it seemed like that was flawless. Beautiful double kill. You can't forget about random arrows with that really crucial nade toss there on pipes on that bridge. If that didn't happen, Acer U would have gotten such a good advantage onto that B site.
Unfortunately, disconnect. Technical issue. One of the players on Meeks does set them up for an early 4v5 in this round. Not what they need right now. Hopefully that reconnect comes in for the next round, but maybe they won't need it. Civ catches one. Can't pick up more than that, though. And it does leave random arrows. Still tucked in, still patient, waiting for that exact moment to catch out the double kill. And everyone connects with the shots they need. They don't need all 5, says Meeks.
Get ready.
Wow. Yeah, unsung hero there on B, but yeah, Random Arrows was the star of the round 11 show. That was brilliant clutch work against 3 of Acer, flying in onto the A site. Meeks, they're rounding it off. We're 5-6. This is brilliant from the Meeks side, and they're only rocking 4 players.
Where is their fifth? They need to reconnect now. Can't afford to keep this going. It's not going to keep going this way, most likely. As Dre gets very aggressive. Pushes up inside to the break here, and finally, Tactical Pan will catch that kill. Taz catches a Paza and quickly into a 4v5. Smokes out, and nobody on site to tuck in. It's going to be an easy scanner plant for Mott.
Beautiful toss of the scanner from Tactical to Mott. I mean, that was absolutely brilliant. A jump and a toss. And now it's up to Meeks to clutch it back. 2 versus 4. Everybody except Tactical is full health, so this is going to be quite a firefight. Down goes Random. All it takes is a headshot from Tactical Pan, and now it's a 1v4. Odds are stacked against it.
Indeed they are, as they'll go down. 5-7, first to 9. Takes the map, or the rules in VAIL, if you're not familiar. If you are just tuning in, maybe you're watching Breachers and went, oh, look, there's VAIL VRML. And you're watching that because we have multiple postseasons live right now. But this one, this game right here, this series determines who goes into the money for tomorrow in that grand finals matchup. So it's vital for both these squads, and it is close, chum. I mean, we're 5-7. Meeks are full roster now. They've got to be feeling good coming away 1-for-1 down a player. And, I mean, only 2 away from tying things up.
Isabel's like, where were we? Let's get back into it. His guns are, yeah, a lot of rounds being shared. Down goes Mott. Beautiful AK-12 kill onto Mott from Isabel. I think they want B side. I think Acer really wants. Down goes Gray, and that's a huge kill. A headshot on top of it. Beautiful from Taz. It's all left up to a Paza really on this site.
They have
There's
several
a colonist
alive.
right there.
They're playing so patiently, though. They do not want to peek out. And look at the late stage peek from a Paza for the double kill. Make it 3. No, they can't peek. Catches the vital one. Scanner is down. Big swing from Civ onto the back end angle, and Peek's not going to be ready for this one. And Meeks are playing spectacular VAIL right now to defend against Acer EU.
I honestly think the last stuff on Acer was just confused. Like, where the heck is this last Ray at? Like, where is he at? Because I cleared out pipes. I pushed on. I killed the double kill from a pause. I shut that down. Where is this guy? And then there goes Civ from the back. Absolute beautiful 6th point for Meeks. They need 3 more to win this first map.
It is a close opening map and Tactical Pan. Hits Gray with a tactical nade right to the face. Plaza tucks in to an angle that still has to bend naded. They're alone. And there's 5 pushing through. Random Arrows is holding a long angle. Plaza swings out and then finds everyone coming out as short, but catches one. Can't get more than that. Rotation coming in down through the long angle. Does catch another kill, and Civ's alone in the 1v3 retake. A tall order against Acer EU, who are settling in to a bit of a rhythm and 1 point away from taking map 1.
I was about to say Paza was on fire there on the B side, but no, you got to give it to Mott. Blitzkrieging through the same path that they took round 13, worked on round 14. What you just saw was absolutely brilliant from Mott. Incredible play. Even though they were giving out audio clues from the smoke, they were coughing through the smoke. Yeah, I mean, Apaz had no clue. Got shot in the back there on the artifact.
40 votes have come through on YouTube. Acer is 58%, Meeks 41%. That's about as close as this series is as well, so it's pretty dang good. Predictions coming in from the community as we settle into what could be the final round of the map if Acer have anything to say about it.
24 Gray whittled down to nearly 10, 15 health right now. They're tucked in onto that barrel, but that's not where the focus is. They want pipes. And there's Isabel with the Vector to respond.
Oh,
pushing.
Big, ooh, a tremendous commitment now. So many people here holding the angle, and I think there's 3 people shooting at Isabel at one point there on that line. And now it's a 5v3 with Acer in control. A nice pickup from Civ, though, on site.
Crucial pick by Civ on site. Absolutely. John Yakuza going down. Look at Civ ending it with a trade. 3 left with Peak very low health.
Huge
down.
Gray.
There goes Gray.
Huge swing.
All left up to the retake. 2 versus 2. But with Gray solo health, I'm seeing an Acer round win here. They could take this map right here and now.
clutch or kick, as they say in the competitive industry, as smokes come out onto site. That smoke is going to make things a little tricky. Audio cues come in, they fly out of the smoke, and the duo catches the first kill. Taz wasn't there to support over the top, but they will pick up the double, no less. And Acer fly into map 1 victory through a big clutch in Acer fashion. That nets them map 1 in this best of 3.
Absolutely unbelievable from Gray, coming out from what one could assume is the grave. You know, having having such little health, they were able to find a kill all the way on the B site, and then again another frag on the A site, but they just could not handle that Acer heat. 9 points against Meeks' 6. That's a strong start for Acer, but Meeks, yeah, Acer better not get comfortable, because Meeks is they seem to be cooking right now.
They are indeed. What a opening map for us to dive into here. If you're IV, you got to be looking at this thinking, well, shoot, I thought I was going to have an easy series, at least for if Acer won, or, you know, or Acer, you know, like if Acer lost, we don't want that. But like either one of these teams this afternoon is looking fierce. And, you know, what do the stats say for map 2, Chum? We've got Suna off the board. What are we thinking for what's left? Kitty or Miru? I'm imagining we're going to Miru for map 2, not a Kitty map 2 decider. That would be definitely a shakeup.
I think that's what Meeks is. They're the shakeup because their Kitty win percentage is just higher than Miru. Straight up, it's actually their highest win percentage. They've played it 10 times, while they've only they've played Suna and Miru both 11 times. So doesn't seem like much of a statistical outlier. I think they are really comfortable on Kitty, but depending on who picks the next map, it really could go to Meeks if it's Kitty. On the Acer side, Kitty doesn't look as hot. They have an 83% round win rate, but that's in contrast to their 91, 92% round win rates. Map win rates on Miru and Suna. So,
okay. We're looking at the replays here, and I think you got to factor in both those stats, Chum, right? With the Kitty being that sort of key element for Meeks, and also how they played. I mean, there was some serious patience from a lot of this defense that nets them kills that I think surprised Acer. They weren't ready for a lot of the angles that we saw some of these double kills and triple kills come from the Meeks side. And I think, to me, that's a testament to Meeks. They've been practicing and planning for this series. From what I'm seeing here, they've got angles that they have been keeping tucked away, and they're trying off-meta positions to catch out Acer EU, and so far it's worked. You combine that with a Kitty map pick, and maybe that's the way to a map 2 victory to get you to that Miru decider.
yeah, I mean, the fact that Acer is such a dominant team by nature here in the region, the fact that Meeks is putting up these numbers on map 1, they're either really fired up, either they got that Red Bull flying down their gullets, or, you know, they really have something special going on right now. And right now, this match is really where it counts, frankly, the most.
Aggression and staying locked in are key. Maybe going into tactical timeout here, though. I did not check stats and whatnot. I don't think we are. I give them the ready up for the teams, and I'm not seeing any subs come in here, Chum. So I do think we'd be hopping into map 2 shortly, but gives us time to reflect on the KDs of the afternoon. Peak 17-12. That's pretty dang good in the postseason when you are going up against what is a very on-point Meeks squad. You know, I think that they are doing very good, obviously. And the Kitty pick doesn't come through, Chum. We are going into our second map, and it has been decided. It's Miru for map number 2, Tiru, of this best of 3 And we do
round 1, pistols out, and we've got Meeks defending. And if we take a look at Suna, if we just remember back to Suna, their defense wasn't the most optimal. They did put in some defense rounds, but we'll see if Acer finds a weakness.
Going up against Acer is a tough task.
Oh,
steps
out
up
of
to
bounds.
it. The pistol round unloads, and random arrows and Apaza find the first 2 kills, a nade and a swing onto the corner. Leaves 1 alive. Nope, 2 on the likes of Acer U. Mott with a slice of health. And pistol blast. Pistol finds the double. No, random on the back end picks up the kill on the Mott. The 4 left alive, and Meeks a commanding pistol opener. But it's the pistol opener. It's Miru. Definitely more defensive-sided, in my opinion, than Suna. And, well, the pistol round isn't a really deterministic factor of how the series unfolds. And as so much other games. So I do think now that with rifles in hand, we'll see if Acer are going to kind of lock in, but Meeks with a nice opener.
Yeah, it's not the best indicator of how the rest of the match will go, but it definitely matters in terms of score, who can put in that pistol round. Look at that push by 24 Gray, quickly shut down by the John, but not before Gray found Peak, the top fragger for Acer on Suna with a headshot. Seems that they, another trade between Bell and Taz.
Apaza on the back end of A. Catch Mott unaware. And now it does leave the duo up through the middle. Basically limited on their choices. They do have a lack of coverage. What a nice take that connects there off the corner of the wall. But they've got a 1v2 here now. The scanner's down. John drops back for it because they want to get that scan down on B. They want to go in the defensive position, but Apaza says no thanks. Tosses the nade off the back wall for a 2-pointer.
Get ready.
Beautiful momentum. Meeks needs this. Meeks definitely need this. But they can't let it get to their head. You know, it's a fine balance between having that confidence and kind of feeling ballooned after a victory. They're looking good so far. I don't want to jinx it. They're looking great.
And they bounced back relatively well in map 1. Maybe better than they thought they could. But again, this is a 9-3 team, so, you know, Acer are not undefeated, 10-2 on the season. They can definitely beat B. I got to imagine that Meeks has done their homework. That's a nice opening kill and nade from Tactical Pan. Does limit the onside defense of B. And tries to push up through the middle. Onside trying to be held down by Sid. They cut into the corner of the smoke, and John weeds them out. It leaves random arrows on the rotation, and the rest of the team is swinging around to B side. The scanner going down.
A ninja in the night, John comes out of the smoke, out of the plumes, and finds that kill. That's a huge frag. A double lines up for them. A headshot onto random. There comes 2 Rayab. Can John handle it? Here comes a swing by Isabel. Oh, it's a trade. All lift up to Apaza to clutch it against 3 of Acer on Colin. As scanners hit the site. 24 seconds and counting.
Knife comes out, doesn't connect. Dangerous element there as Peaks catches Apaza out. We're into the 2-1 scenario as Acer bounce back, as you would expect. But votes are out. Check the votes. Check YouTube chat and
50,
votes
50 right now
on who you think is going to take map 2.
It's weird. It's 50-50 right now. 20 votes total tonight. I'm getting nervous. Oh, it just leaned towards Acer. Polls are still in progress.
They took the yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe it'll go back to Meeks with that round 2 win, but
I gotta say, it's definitely not just Meeks who's doing their homework against Acer. Tactical Pan naded 24 Gray's position just in the round previous to this one perfectly. I mean, 24 Gray was the first frag, was the first kill to happen. So I think Acer just aren't taking Meeks lightly at all as well. Isabel actually getting first blood against Mott there on the other site on A.
Ooh, and finding
Double lines up. It's good.
Basically a free double kill that sets the trio that was going to push B very alone. And on the rotation, there's a trap with Isabel here. A big kill from John that opens up the swing as an option now, so they can get off B side if they want to, because B side is heavily reinforced with defense right now.
Huge pick by Civ again. Civ with these really great frags. I mean, crucial kill. One of the top fraggers. Well, at the moment, not quite 1-3 KD from Peak, but really great kill. And that's a clean headshot that whittles down the Acer squad to basically 1 1/8 player, because look how low health John is. 1 tap. There goes random, finding that shot onto a body kill. On the other side, though, there's on A, it's Apaza trying to find the kill. They're scanning, they're clearing, cutting the pie. Tactical Pan out of sight.
20
There's
seconds
Gray.
left, and you look at that overhead, they were surrounded. Gray finishes things off in round 4, and Meeks are in a comfortable control of map 1 for now. 2-point lead isn't too much to get away with, though, and they've got 4 more rounds on the half before we swap sides, so a lot to go, but definitely the opener they needed off of a map 1 loss.
Beautiful gameplay so far. We're seeing a 5-player push from Acer. Big commit to B. Big commit.
Gotta worry about Gray. One right there is man. Pairs down. One. Mott's gonna swing the corner. Utility is coming in on the side. Plenty of smokes down, and Mott's gonna go for the early scanner plant underneath the nose of this defense. As nades come bouncing in, a beautiful toss from Apaza. Catches out the scanner before it can go down in the chaos, and now they cannot defend. Taz was in a defensive position, and now it's going to be a much harder task to push out to that scanner and put it down.
Scanner hit the floor, and the whole lobby heard it. Unbelievable find by Taz, and Peak follows up with the headshot onto Apaza. It's all left up to Random Arrows with a decent amount of health against Taz and Peaks, but Random Arrow hears that scanner being picked up, tries to blind fire through the boxes, doesn't connect. Taz is still up, half health. Random needs to swing, ending with a trade. 2 points now for Acer EU. They're catching up to Meeks' head start here.
That was a interesting, to say the least, coming in from the Meeks squad, and Acer. I mean, Meeks really had the advantage there, and I think they overstepped just a little bit. They got a little overconfident with their player advantage against Acer, and they tried to finish the round. When that's something that is very hard to do against anyone on the Acer squad, let alone the duo. Here comes another fast push. Random has 1 ace. Kill another over the top. The chaos doesn't work out for Acer this time. It leaves them with only 2 alive.
All Random needs is just a little bit of blood, and just like that, 3 kills happen. There goes Civ, finding a frag through the smoke. Peak responds. They're the last up. 60 health or so. Civ has the rat spot. They swing. The smoke clears. They may have seen a flash of Peak, and they finish it off. Clean headshot. 4 points to Meeks here on map 2 Miru.
Keeping that lead up by 2, but just barely. A nice job on defense there, though, and ultimately a great shutdown of a very aggressive commitment from Acer EU to that push. They went for another hard press onto B because it worked. And after that, I imagine they're not going to go for that full 4-court press again. And I think Meeks are adjusting. Look at this. They went to a 3-2 split, but 3 to A this time. Despite B being the hard push, they are definitely trying to predict the Acer rotation to A site.
All about the mind games. It's all about the mind games, and Meeks is doing beautifully. Isabel trading out with Yakuza. That's a big trade. 4v4 early on. 1 minute 34 seconds now on the clock. Some smokes do go out here on B, but the scanner is going underground. They want the A site. It's all left up to Apaza. Can Apaza handle two of Colonists coming in?
They've got the angle onto the stairs as soon as it comes in. Ooh, and those shots came through. Apaza just nearly getting missed. The nade does soak them off, but a nice refrag from Gray keeps things close. Nade's going to come in. Apaza continues to rotate, and the site push onto A becomes a much harder task. Rotations are challenging, with Tactical Pan holding the center here, though. And ultimately, it's a bit of a battle between Acer EU and Meeks here in the 3v4.
Meeks, they have to handle this numbers advantage well. They're not doing well so far. Random goes down to a headshot from Peak. Apaza does respond with a frag onto Taz themselves. 2 left for Acer EU. They're being identified. They're being called out. And they're getting cornered. They're getting pinched. Here comes Tactical pushing on through. Gray will hear these footsteps.
On the crouch. Nah, Tactical doesn't need to worry about Gray because Gray gets picked off by Peak. And the push up to scan onto A could come down. Where is Scanner? Oh, they don't have it. Tactical Pan has to pick it up. And they know this on the site hold as Apaza buys more time for Civ to rotate. Ultimately stop Scanner from getting picked up. The duo is going to peek at the same time, and the double kill goes into the favor of Meeks on the clutch. Civ comes through, and Acer are denied what was seemingly a guaranteed round.
Unbelievable. I mean, that was a Greek tragedy. I mean, you can't argue with me. Meeks had the numbers advantage. Acer came back, found a groove, but couldn't hold it. Beautiful, beautiful double by Civ to clutch up a 5th point for Meeks. Pulling at my heartstrings here.
I know. What is Acer's play here now in the final round of the half? As opens things up to limit on-site defense for B. And rotations are called out. 1 kill up the middle. A nice angle from Isabel to continue to be a threat through the center. Gray's going to come barreling into the site to try and shut down the on-site plant. And random arrows is all that's left for B. Rotation comes in and Scanner goes down. Tactical Pan dodges those shots over the top. And Random still alive, waiting for the team to reinforce.
John Yakuza finishes that random arrow spot through the box. Here comes a big push by Isabel. They cleared out some players there. Oh, what a swing by John! It's all up to Isabel. They handle 1. They can't do the double kill. Tactical Pan wins a 3rd point.
We're switching sides.
A lot like what I said in Suna for the Meeks squad, in that they had to come out with 3 offensive points before the side swap. I think Acer may have done enough on the attack to make this defensive side doable for them to be able to come out with a map 2 win and the series W. They're guaranteed $700 in their pocket and a chance at $1,500 for first place.
With side swap, we're hearing pistols and the nade. Peak finds a double, a headshot on Babaza. Isabel also connects with a nade of their own. Scanner, they're on the B site, but we had a bit of an engagement. Peak shutting down the last stragglers there in the middle, but look at random arrows with the plant successful, backed up by Civ.
And a 1-2 punch. Pan and Mott finishing off the Meeks defense that was holding down Scanner. They'll interrupt that and put up a point on the board early, a lot like Meeks did in round 1. If you remember, Meeks had, I think, 3 or 4 alive off their pistol round on their defensive half. And so it's Miru. It's defensive sided to a slight degree. And Acer definitely found that success on defense there. It's the early rounds that you can really chip away on those 2 3-point leads. You know, the pistol round's kind of like a toss-up round, and then your rifle round, people are kind of coming off of a pistol round. You know, they're not fresh, so there's an opportunity to surprise, maybe throw some off-meta positions, but ultimately it does look like Acer are staying up to the pretty standard defensive angles.
Yeah, Peak with the artillery strike, beautiful kill there. Into the hallway, there's one sitting directly on the artifact. It's Peak, ready to pounce at a moment's notice. All around the B site, big trade out. Civ and Apaza against Tactical Pan. Big push out, but no, look who wasn't ready. Bell and Gray and Apaza triple from Peak to close out at 5-5 here on round 10.
You gotta watch out for these angles. From Acer, too. You know, we saw Meeks surprising, throwing off those off-meta tuck-ins, but there comes Peak doing exactly what we saw Meeks doing for success, and ultimately look at their KD right now, 12-5 on the half. They are absolutely dominating so far on Miru.
You better watch out and you better not cry, because that was brutal from Peak. Nades out. Man, Meeks really want the ace site. 3 smokes deployed. Big nade from Peak to shut down Gray. An early push. Civ shuts one down. Taz responds, picks up a double, and just like that, a wombo combo from Peak and John finish off the last. I mean, it really seems like a Rayab-sided man. Acer, you are here to play.
I mean, 3 away from taking the series and getting into the money. Acer got to be feeling good right now. But you can't let that emotion overwhelm you, because that can blind your sort of normal play style and make you play differently. That can then allow Meeks ways back in. You can see Meeks is going to open up this half with a bit of a different strat in terms of tucking into that very back end, waiting for any center rotations. They're not getting too aggressive onto one site. A lot like what Acer did on their adjustment coming off of that big push loss when they were on the attack.
They're putting numbers in and just throwing against the defense there on B, and gotta be careful of Apaza, because they could make a huge comeback here on A, but no, so far it's just firefights. So many firefights through the smokes here on B. They really want it, but they just can't seem to find a position to push. Down goes Civ. Sneak find by Tactical. Taz follows it up with a second.
Meeks getting denied access to be across the board as Mock comes barreling through the center and finds one. They'll go down for their troubles, but John uses the data and scoops up the kill down through that center lane. 7-5, 2 away. Acer in control of Miru.
John the Executioner dropping down, clean headshot, put an end. Pause out of their misery. 7 points for Acer. How the tables have turned, really. Acer now leading by 2 points. Meeks, they're basically trying anything. They're fluctuating their strats really by a lot. Down goes Civ, early frag by John.
And up on a tactical angle, catches one, drops down, and quickly picked up. Look at the aggressive push from Gray, trying to get rid of on-site defense, but Peak reads the swing perfectly. At least Isabel being overwhelmed by the remaining defense, and Apaza alone in the 1v4.
Has unbelievable. What a headshot with the AK-12. I felt that in my chest. Oh my gosh. 8 points for Acer. They could finish this in just 1 round.
A reminder that the loser here goes on to play IV right after this series. We'll have a rough 15-20 minute break, I assume, for the teams to charge headsets, get ready for their next series, and then we will dive in to IV versus the loser. Could be IV versus Meeks if they do not take this round, but that comes up shortly after this series, so you're not going to want to go anywhere after the end of this. If it does end here, there's still a chance for Meeks. They haven't found their opening kill, and Tactical Pan is a big threat. They're going to push through onto the smoke. They're going to find a second kill. On the hunt for more, Civ comes alive with one, but Tactical Pan catches Civ, and it's the ace from Tactical Pan to end the round. 5 kills on site, 9-5 map 2. Acer advance on to the grand final match tomorrow.
Unbelievable performance from the Acer squad. I mean, Tactical really doing the homework, nading preemptively, you know, just with knowledge, watching Cass previous live streams. They were on to Meeks. They were sniffing and they smelled blood. Beautiful from all the players on both Meeks, but Acer, they came out on top for a reason.
Indeed, they did. And now Meeks have the tall order of going up against IV, who I'm sure we're tuning in, watching, observing, and preparing for any sort of Meeks trickery. But now Meeks have the option. Do they go for the trickery? Do they go to the meta plays? You got to try and throw off your opponent with a variety of strats, and we definitely see that Meeks has that. So IV's not going to have an easy task ahead of them, but Acer have advanced on, and they're celebrating together in the lobby with high fives and fist pumps, and a deserved W from them as they go on to the matchup tomorrow, the best of 5 tomorrow for the EU Grand Finals. Let's take a quick look at some of the highlights, Chum, because there were a lot. Tremendous multi-kills, big off-meta plays, a big clutch from Tactical Pan on the ace in that final round, and ultimately a series that we expected, right? EU has delivered for us on good quality games, and Meeks challenging Acer was what I was hoping for, and we got it today.
Explosive finish, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Meeks, they really, it was nearly operatic. It was really quite life-changing to see Meeks play like that. They're on map 1. They did so well. I can't wait to see what kind of plays they manage to pull off against Ivy. And we just heard the shuttle, you know, the post match interaction between Acer and Meeks. Somebody said, I think on Acer EU, saying good luck against Ivy. I really wish you the best. So puts a warm feeling in my heart, and it's getting me ready for the next matchup.
Let's keep running the replays because there are a lot of them, but it does give us a moment to also shout out our sponsor making all of this possible, this action, this gameplay, The developers of the game itself, Axe Labs, contributing into $10,000 into that cash prize pool. First place for EU gets a nice chunk of it, $1,500 on the line. That's what Acer are going to be competing for tomorrow. And it's ultimately what Ivy and Meeks are fighting for in just a few minutes from now. That series, Ivy versus Meeks, will unfold in about 20 minutes from when we go on to break. So do be sure to stick around, and you're not going to want to miss that one. I imagine that one, Chum, probably going to be as good as this series that we saw today. We can talk a little bit about it, but what are your thoughts with Ivy going up against Meeks? Because now we know what that series is. It's not Acer, it's Ivy and Meeks.
Ivy and Meeks. I don't know what happened in the I think it was the double elimination, or was it? No, at that point it was. Yeah. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Double elimination.
It was the double elimination between Meeks and Ivy previously in this postseason. I don't know what happened to Ivy, but if they don't pull it together, we're going to see another Acer versus Meeks matchup tomorrow for the EU Grand Final. So, I don't know. Ivy, for that team, they've got their own motivations to finally making it out of the loser's bracket after that unfortunate matchup against Meeks. So,
yeah.
This will be a revenge opportunity for them.
They certainly have been playing more games as they fight through that loser's bracket. And it'll be fun to see. We are going to go to a brief break. And we should be getting into our second series of the afternoon in about 15 minutes. So do not go anywhere. When we come back, map 1 between Ivy and Meeks will begin, and we'll see whose season ends at third place and who gets a chance against Acer EU. We could have the rematch, Chum. It could be in the cards if Meeks can come out on top this afternoon.
Yeah, they just have to be bloodthirsty enough, and we're here to watch in awe.
Indeed, we are. Appreciate everyone stopping by, tuning in, and enjoying the action. Don't go anywhere. 15-minute break. We'll be back for map number 1 in our final series of the EU semis. And then North America begins later today, so don't go too far. Welcome back, everybody. Right on schedule, like we always are here at the VRML. We are ready for map number 1 of our second series. It's Ivy versus Meeks. Meeks coming off of a tough loss from just a few moments ago. 20 minutes or so ago, they battled against Acer EU. And came close, Chum. I think closer than maybe most people expected. But there certainly was a lot of folks in chat that did anticipate Meeks to put up a good fight against Acer.
Yeah, no, yeah, there were definitely I felt that sentiment as well, but I was surprised by the really 50-50 polls.
Yeah.
They were pretty close. In the end, you know, those polls kind of were left alone for a little bit. So by the end of the side swap, people started to vote for the side that was looking pretty good. But yeah, in the beginning it looked really 50-50. It's been really exciting so far.
The votes even now are pretty close. Meeks is in the lead on the percentages, but by a small margin, 56-44 in favor of Ivy. And there certainly seems to be some Ivy fans out there rooting for them to come out on top, saying that it's an Ivy era. I'm sure that both Acer and Meeks have something to say about that. And we'll see if Meeks is going to be coming out on top as we do just wait for the 5th to connect in. And we will dive into our first map. I've given the players the ready up so that we can begin when they are all prepared. And we do have everyone in lobby, so we can get a quick look at the active rosters for the afternoon. Over on Meeks, we have Gray, Apaza, Isabel, Random Arrows, and Civ. The same 5 we saw play against Acer. And over on Ivy, we have Bleach, Cray, Fraza, Gooblin, and T. And those are some names that are certainly familiar to us, as they have been doing very well throughout the course of the postseason. The regular season record is 6-1. They are a strong team, to say the least. We're diving into our first round of the series. It's map number 1 on Miru. An interesting choice, I imagine, chosen by Ivy to maybe try and throw the Meeks squad off a little bit here, because they're coming off of a loss immediately after playing it against Acer.
Yeah, and I think that's extra fire under their seats, or I guess they're not really sitting because we're playing VR.
We're playing VR.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna fuel them up for the fight. But Ivy, again, they've got that salt in the wound having lost against Meeks previously during the postseason. This is their opportunity for revenge. Meeks just wants to get this over and done with. They want their rematch against Acer tomorrow. They want to prove themselves. So we'll see how it goes.
So far, a couple of trades back and forth in our opening pistol. Civ flies out of the smoke, and down go a couple in exchange. Random Arrows now alone in a 1v2. Going to try and retake the scanner, which is down between 2 defenders here. Great job of drawing Random's attention and both peeking out. Gooblin and Fraza celebrating as they're excited to take an early point lead in our first map of this best of 3 series.
Back in spawn we go, and with this head start, I mean, Ivy's looking good, but as we saw, the pistol rounds kind of, yeah, we keep saying it, but yeah, it's really true. The pistol rounds are kind of, we'll see how they go.
Not deterministic of the entirety of the series, but let's take a look at the overhead to understand where Ivy's playing out this afternoon. They're definitely going a bit more of a reserved spread across the board, trying to figure out where Meeks is prioritizing their defensive setup.
On a standstill, but the scanner is waiting for the B site to open up. Kind of a slow push here from Ivy, but first round worked for them. Let's see if it'll work a second time. Another kind of late smoke from the Ray to block off some of the boxes. Big find by Bell, and AK-12 onto Cray, and that's a big frag. First blood goes to Meeks. We'll see if that continues up. Some more firefights, but yeah, the Meeks defense looks kind of split between both sides. They're looking well-rounded for now.
Yeah, they definitely had an extended sort of setup. You can now look at the overhead in comparison. We've sort of swapped sides, where now the offense is pushing up through that mid line. Gray is still here, tucked in. Bleach finds a vital kill that loosens up the B defense substantially, leaves Sim alone to be suppressed in this corner. The reinforcements from Random are required as they do come in. The call to swing A is off, and everyone piles over to B with the scanner going down. With 4 alive on both sides, the scanner gets planted.
Really great play, and oh, big trade. Headshots between Fraza and Bell. They're just waiting, but I don't know if their positions are good enough. This could be uncomfortable for Ivy to reclaim if Sif decides to defuse. They're sticking to it. Smoke deployed. That's going to be extra hard. Another trade.
Oh, they don't get it through the smoke. There's still 1 alive for Apaza as they do catch Bleach out. And T alive. They have to go for the defuse, and T plays it beautifully. Wonderfully done from IV to clutch up their second point. And maybe that's an indicator, Chum, of how this series is going to go. We're going to be down to the wire for a lot of these rounds.
That set the tempo, absolutely. T didn't even have to push that. You know, that was confidence of being able to find the kill, and a headshot on top of it was the cherry. Yeah, that was beautifully played. Civ did incredibly well. Oh, sorry, not Civ. I think it was might have been Bleach who pushed onto the B site trying to stop that defuse. But yeah, beautifully played by Ivy under pressure. Despite that smoke, they handled that perfectly.
Nice little exchange. Isabella and T firing it off. And T coming out on top. They had support from Fraza. 2 guns better than 1. And the opener that Ivy can need to stack up the 3-1 lead. Gray still trying to play aggressive up on this B site defense.
A little slow. Scanner now taking a different path. They're kind of hanging around more towards the middle of the map, but they're looking A lenient. Again, early frag onto the Meeks squad. They're running on 4 versus 5, though T is just a little big bad wolf poof, and they're going back to the shuttle. A nade out does not connect. They're getting really close now, pushing up through the mid. Big flanked. Gray trades out with T.
Huge trade there. T could have that could have been big for Gray. They could have caught a multi-kill on the back there of that swing, but they don't. And instead, Civ's alone,
30 seconds
rotating the site. Gonna crash right in to the line of Gooblin. And this IV squad is settling in. The predictions still leaning towards Meeks, but there's a 45% vote to IV with 35 votes in. So there's definitely a chunk of folks tuning in this afternoon that believe IV can come out on top. And right now, 3-0 lead. I mean, even 4-0 isn't too much to worry about. It's after that half of the half that Meeks really do got to start to step up. This is their defensive half on Miru. They can't really afford too many more rounds to go into the hands of IV.
Lots of fire on the B side. Look at that. 5 smokes, 1. Look at that scan. Beautiful from Bleach. Those smoke tosses are absolutely perfect. Now they've regressed back, and now the ball's in Meeks' court, and Ivy are putting them in a really awkward position. Cray. Oh no, Fraza doesn't need Cray. They can handle both. A headshot with the AK-12 onto Random and Apaza. 4 points. Ivy's blazing through this first map.
Really good teamwork there to draw and divide the attention of the duo, and ultimately good timing from Fraza to capitalize on that distraction, catch the kills on the short corner, scoop up the double, and a little technical issue from Fraza as they do end up dropping out of the round. And IV start off in a 4v5, so a chance for Meeks to capitalize on the power play they've been gifted.
I don't know. We've seen Ivy be able to handle these kinds of situations. So yeah, I don't know. Makes me nervous. Early frag, that does help it. But T, look how low. Again, they are on a sliver. But maybe T feels comfortable doing that because they gotta pick last round being super low health as well.
So
They just need Gooblin. They just need Gooblin.
getting over aggressive there. Gooblin hearing the audio footsteps catches them exposed and not holding that tight angle. They were looking for T up through the middle and didn't end up catching that kill. And that's the sign of a good, solid team that understands their angles and trusts in their teammates to hold them. T knew that angle is being held by Gooblin and that they could advance up through the middle with relative comfort. Ray does push up. They will actually finally catch T. The first kill of 3 that they'll need to take the round.
That's a huge frag from Cray, kind of finding that last Rayab on the A side. It's going to put the last 2 defenders kind of in a awkward position. They're not exactly too sure where the scan's going to be. With 2 smokes, though, they should get the clues, though. They're committing utility pre-fire through the boxes. Doesn't connect. There's Ray on the back of elbow. Scan has hit the artifact.
And look at how fast this defense has to push up now. 35 seconds on the clock. Scanner is out in the open. They're going to try and go for the interrupt while there's still a few alive. They'll catch the first kill. A big commit from Random is a too big of a commit. They go too far. They'll catch some utility. They have to swing out now into 2 as Cray reinforces from the flank. And IV 5-0 on the offensive half on Mira. This is not what Meeks needed. I mean, this is tough coming off of a loss against Acer. But the reality is IV fought to get to this position. They battled through a long trough of games through the loser's bracket to get to this place. And they've now got an opportunity to at least take this first map in quick fashion if they do take an 8-0 half. That's what they're hunting for. 3 more rounds, and they've got it.
Big nades, a lot, but only 1 connected. Arrows finding Gooblin the Goober. It's a nice pick there onto the early colonist. Down goes Cray, another headshot from Civ. T goes down. It's all left up to 2. Never mind, just 1. Braza the captain. Can they clutch up against 5 of Meeks? They're on fire.
Maybe we're just going to do a little bit of a reversal here. A 5-3 for Meeks on defense instead of offense. And then they're going to have to step up on the attack. And, who knows what IV's defense is going to look like here on Meteor. There could really be maybe a gap in coverage. Maybe offense is IV's strength and defense is their weakness on this map. Teams definitely play that way. You know what I mean? They rely on doing very well on one half and then only needing to win a few rounds on the other. And at this point, IV only need a few rounds on their defensive half. But if Meeks can put 3 up, they've got their foot in the door for a chance at a map 1 win.
Lots of nades, no connections whatsoever. 2 defensive smokes with 4 colonist smokes, but look at that.
Yeah,
it's a complete misdirection. Scanners headed up A with 2 on the escort. Nade out, down goes Apaza, the only Meeks defender. A perfect smoke on the stairs. Look at the scan, it's hit it.
IV play this beautifully coming off of that B loss. They play strong into a bait into that B side, and now they've got themselves a 1v4 with random arrows flying up to that scanner, trying to get the angle. Not ready for Cray on the stairs, and it leaves Cray alone in a 1v3 exposed in the middle of
Braza needs to
multiple
peek.
attackers.
Cray's got it though. Beautiful double kill on the last 2 Rayap. They crash back. What a perfect misdirection.
Oof. Meeks really needed that second and third point. They really need the second point. A 7-1 half is tough to bounce back from. Only 2 points are needed. The pistol round and your rifle round immediately after. And with IV playing the way they are, it's just not where Meeks want to be right now in this first map.
Absolutely not. It's just uncomfortable. It's just uncomfortable, and that's not what you need in a situation like this. You need to be in your element. There's obviously always going to be a challenge, but yeah, no, not a good position to be in. Nade goes bad for Isabel. Another flash. Won't catch anybody. It's T that's underneath. Look at the scan, though. It's on the other side of the map. They're wanting B side, and A side is only a distraction. Maybe Meeks will fall for it again, but for now, they have 3 Rayab at the ready for the B site.
Gray had a chance at a kill on a short angle and missed it. Utility comes out nonetheless, and next, and there's the swing. Caught by Gray and Apaza. T goes down. And again, 2 rifles better than 1. Gray scoops up front. This team getting picked apart as Gray finds a double kill up through the middle, and the scanner is alone into the hands of Bleach.
Oh, down they go. Civ puts an end to it. Finally, another point for Meeks. 2 against IV's 6 points on the board. Into the side swap, it's pistols. So another roll of the dice for these 2 teams.
Another look at the vital kills from Gray up through the center. They're shooting at 3/4 of the body. So maybe the advantage there because they have to hit the head, but nonetheless they do hit their shots. And I mean, we see Meeks when they win kind of strong. 3-4 left alive. I'm curious what the IV defense looks like here for real, and we'll see if Meeks can put up a pistol round. It's a nice way to start chipping away at this.
Bleach finds a beautiful kill through the smoke. Look at that nade from T. Finds Bell. Random does respond with a headshot. Oh my gosh, Craze goes down as well from arrows. It's a 3-on-3, and right now the health bars are looking pretty even. Bleach can find it.
Out here, and they'll scoop up shots onto Apaza, onto Civ, and they're on the hunt for a third, but Gooblin will find that one themselves on the swing. And IV put together a solid retake, a very nicely done push in for that 3v3, well-timed, well-coordinated too. I mean, really, the timing was vital for Fraza there to be pushing up through the middle, right when the distraction was heavily focused over onto the stairwell, and ultimately they catch a multi-kill there, almost a triple, but the double with some great headshots from their pistol. And I mean, IV are just playing really well right now, and Meeks are doing their best to contest. They're putting on a great show here. They're pushing for these rounds, but they're just not quite getting those kills they need when it comes down to the clutch moments.
They're doing incredibly well. I mean, that Rahab strat would not have worked if Bleach didn't come through with that underground push. Beautiful nade, a double onto the stairway leading up from the underground, and a Cray finishes off one. If Civ didn't go for that refrag, beautiful headshot at the top of the A site. They could go for one more. He's beginning to peak, but just like that, the scanner is still ready on the site. It's all left up to Civ against Googlin and T. There's T from the top of the site, finally getting the kill. 8 points, just 1 left for IV.
I think that was 3 or 4 on the round for Teak, especially coming off of that double kill nade up through the middle. Yeah, that's 3 kills for T, and they are 11-7, leading the charge for their team, 8-2. At this rate, we're not going to see the rematch. IV are looking to be challenging Acer EU. If they're playing this good against Meeks, I wonder what that series is going to look like in the grand finals.
Yeah, it's only going to be good news. This really could be the IV era with Isabel with the first blood. A great headshot, Civ to follow up T. Shut down T, that's a huge frag, but Fraza's still up and running. As always, headshot with the AK-12. Doesn't find a second, though Cray is still up and running. Finds Sue before going down. Just like that, it's a 1v2. It's all left up to Bleach to clutch it up.
They've got this team split too, so an opportunity for the 1v1s are here. Isabella and Civ not necessarily pushing this together. And Bleach is doing a great job focusing on both angles, and as I say that, they drop off, just barely avoiding shots. Where's Scanner gonna go? Civ has a chance to rotate all the way to A and get a clean plant. And I think that's the play after losing that kill. And wow, Bleach reading this really nicely, anticipating that after that kill, Civ would swing. And so they're going to try and catch the scanner plan. I don't think they're going to get that in time, but the retake is going to have to come in from Bleach.
Gonna be tough. Bleach, oh, almost finds a headshot with the pre-fire. Unbelievable clutch from Bleach.
This is map 1. Off of a huge clutch from Bleach, going to IV. 9-2 in clean and dominant fashion. And Meeks are in a bad place now. 3 rounds lost in a row, 2 against Acer, 1 against IV. The losers bracket's never fun, to say the least. But the battle for bronze is here and unfolding this afternoon. And the winner goes up against Acer EU in a best-of-5 tomorrow.
Ivy's gotten comfortable in the hellfire that is the losers bracket, and Meeks doesn't seem to I don't think they have the skin yet. I don't think they've been sunburned by that fire in the losers bracket. Yeah, that was amazing from Ivy. I mean, we saw some clean executions of strats from Meeks. Let's definitely put that on air, but Ivy really efficient round after round, coming out on top, and sometimes it wasn't even clean. Sometimes it was just through sheer talent, through sheer force of will, they managed to clutch up in incredible situations.
Yeah, like that double kill nade from T. Certainly one of those moments where, in what was looking like a perfect push, gets disrupted. The beautiful pinch in the 3v3 from that IV squad. And I mean, again, IV just coming in and playing very strong this afternoon.
Not to forget the Bleach clutch just now, 1v2. That was amazing. And they handled both sites, incredible rotation.
Good plays all around, and we take a quick gander at the KDs. 2 players into the double digits, with T and Cray hitting 11 and 8 and 10 and 8. And the rest of the players in the lobby not able to get into those double digits. But maybe the second map is going to be what they need. Suna went very well, in my opinion, for the IV squad. They had a real shot at bringing that up to a W. I think that was a 9-6, 9-7 loss to Acer. And so I do think that if they've got a chance, Suna's it. But maybe to your point, Kitty, might be time to break that out in map 2 for this Meeks squad.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's what Meeks needs. If we take a look at Kitty, it's Ivy's worst map. So if there's a time to play Kitty, it's right now, really.
Not gonna see any subs, it seems. We do have everyone on still, nobody dropping out of this.
And if Ivy do end up taking this matchup against Meeks in the losers bracket, the bronze match, as we call it on the website, it's going to be a great warm-up for Acer. But at the same time, it doesn't even really look like Ivy needs the warm-up. They're on fire.
Yeah, maybe they wanted to go against Acer today instead. Yeah. But either way, they've got themselves a good series, and Meeks have a bit of a road ahead of them. It's 2 round wins needed in this best-of-3 for them to be able to continue on with their season. Otherwise, they take 3rd, and we have our grand finals matchup between Acer and Ivy tomorrow. That is what is ahead of us. In addition, we do have NA and their semifinals going on later today. That starts at 3 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. Eastern. Do be sure to stick around for that. You don't have to stick around, but do be sure to tune in for that when it does go live. Those matchups will be stellar, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to them. And we've got some team interviews as well that we will be debuting live during that stream if you want to get a little insight into the 4 squads that have made it in to the semifinals. And that's 2 series, again, that will be playing out today, and then 2 series tomorrow, unlike EU, which only has 1. So a lot of games of the best VAIL ahead of us, and all of it is thanks to our sponsors. Axe Labs contributing in $10,000 to that cash prize pool. 1,500 of it is on the line for first place in EU, 700 for second place. And in North America, we have 5,500 on the line for first place. So the scale a little different once we get into the matches later this afternoon, but nonetheless, that chunk of change is something worth fighting for both of these teams. And so I imagine that it's got to be on their mind, Chum. It's got to be factoring into the pressure. HyperX also contributing into the North American prize pool. Of course, we would always want to be giving the EU, but we can't through that HyperX sponsorship. So it's North America that ends up getting that hardware. So even more on the line on that side. But still, all thanks to our sponsors and Axe Labs, the developer of this game, making all of this possible with their tremendous focus on what is a really great competitive game. You know, I really do enjoy that they're able to put in so much effort into the competitive scene, and you know, with 2 live events being done on stage already, thanks to their support, it's nothing short of amazing, really. And so we really do appreciate Axe Labs and everything they do, and we can't shout them out enough, quite frankly. We did have great drop, and I thought maybe we were going to get a sub, but we didn't. And as we wait for our...
They like them.
Yeah.
We're going to keep them around.
As we wait for our final series, we can take a quick look at chat. We do have quite a few folks hanging out and enjoying the action this afternoon. We do appreciate all of you. I see Pedal, Knock, Jay, Vero, Aero, Grooves, Robert, Malia, Mel, a little tiny Mel, Knock, Infinite Galax. Thank you all for stopping by, tuning in, enjoying the action, and ultimately bearing with us as we have this play. I'm not sure if maybe there's a timeout coming in.
I think it must be.
Either way, we do appreciate you sticking around and waiting with us. And a reminder again that there is more action later today. You can see on this YouTube channel, if you go to that live link, that we do have North America starting at 3 p.m. PST. We've stalled long enough, chum, for what is your predicted map number 2. We are going to be heading to Kitty for our second map with Meeks versus Ivy.
Come on, Nightfire, it's Edie. Edie.
How could I?
I'm really excited. Apart from all, aside all the jokes, I'm actually really pumped to see what Meeks does, because Ivy, to get the real specific numbers here to the viewers at home, 57% win rate from Ivy here on Kitty versus the 80% map win rate from Meeks. So yeah, be careful, folks. We could see something pretty crazy happen.
Maybe a map 3 decider on Suna. That would be certainly exciting.
I'm here for it.
We definitely are, as we do dive in to map 1. And an early aggressive swing from Goblin up through the middle. And even a more aggressive counter.
Grenades there. Isabel finds themselves in the smoke with the pistol. It's going to be low damage, but there's Bleach to knock them back to the shuttle. A nade for the first blood. 4v5 for the Meeks defense. They hear presence in skate, but the scanner isn't really pushing too aggressive. But now that I say that, look at Fraza.
Barreling up the site and getting picked off by Civ from the angle side. They'll find 2 for their trouble. And it's up to Gray and remaining defense of a Paza on site to hold Scanner down, but they do have Scanner on their side in this 2v2.
This is, I think, the worst position that Ivy could possibly find themselves in with 40 seconds. They can't go for a long rotate. 24 Gray will hear them. They can go for the... No, they don't. They're not ready for the swing. Gray finds a headshot. It's all left up to Apaza. How the tides have changed.
Apaza catches one, though. They're looking for the double. The push is coming in. Time ticks down. Scanner gets picked up by Bleach. That's what they're trying to do, at least. And Apaza's covering it nicely. They've got a great angle. Scanner does get picked up. 15 seconds left. There's no way they're going to get a Scanner plan. They have to go for the fight, and Apaza reads it wonderfully. Predicts the swing, and it is... Oops, I got to swap teams. Apologies. Meeks taking their 1-0 lead on the pistol round.
Every bit of damage on the pistol round matters, and that's exactly what Apaza showed us just now. Making sure that each shot lands just like that, with just one bullet landing onto Bleach, the last colonist alive. That's how Apaza managed to clutch that up. 1 point for Meeks. A strong start on Kitty, but yeah, I'm not gonna predict it off that. Scanner once again at the bottom of skate.
Little trade, little 1-for-1. Right up the middle, and Gray tries to catch the headshot, can't quite get it. Where's Scanner going? B site seems to be in the cards for the Meeks team. Excuse me, IV now on the attack. One thing about Kitty is this rotation here up through the center. Really easy for the offense to make. You have a kind of straight line through, right over to A site. In comparison, the defense has to kind of wrap their way through the L's and the weaves to get back over to A from B. And it makes it a little slower, makes it a little bit more challenging. You have a little less comfort in your angles. And ultimately, you have to be ready for the rotation. It's why you have to split your defense. You need somebody here to prevent the scanner from going down like it has. And now there's 3 alive to hold down for this IV offense, and they've got their first point on the attack.
What a sweep by Gooblin, finishing off the last 2. Yeah, I think Ivy, they're really in tune with their strengths and weaknesses in the moment of their offensive strats. They realize that, hey, we have really good, you know, lines into B, but our middle guys, our middle players aren't really pushed up far enough to really catch the rotation of the Rayabs from A. So here, let's just commit to A and we'll blitzkrieg through, and they just need a little bit of Gooblin magic to pull them that 1 point here on Kitty.
I see some folks asking about merch for VRML. I think there's a link on the website that should direct you to Arma, where you can get jerseys. We also do have an Exclaim affiliate link where you can catch some VRML merch there, but we haven't updated or done a merch drop in a while. We are planning on increasing our merch presence soon, so keep the eyes peeled. Just like Meeks need to keep their eyes peeled for this push that's coming in now from Ivy.
Yeah. Big find by Random, a refrag, finding Bleach. But look, Cray and never mind, it's just Cray. No more Fraza, no more captain of Ivy to help you out. We're hearing Cray trying to contest B. They don't want to push up too far to find that scanner. That got dropped right on the steps.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to have to scoop that up. You're worried about both Random's ankle and Apaza's line of sight, and Apaza will catch the kill. Meeks put on their second point. And, oops, I got to reset the overall scores. Apologies for that.
Man, were they clipping? How did they get that kill? I mean, in any case, really in tune, really tip-top game sense there by the defense, and Meeks bring it to 2-1 against Ivy. Ivy, though, after a pretty successful, you know, improvisation of a colonist push, they're going to take another stab, but this time a little bit harder here on the A side. Early smokes and a time nade far, but you can't wait. Oh my gosh, Random pushes 2. A headshot onto Cray. Bleach goes down, a third from Random, shutting completely the colonist push for A. It's all of Fraza, the captain, no, never mind. There's Apaza. Absolute sweep once again from the defense.
Is Apaza the counter to Fraza, or is Fraza the counter to Apaza? Who knows? That's what we're here to find out this afternoon. But a nice lock, I mean, solid, what was that, 4 left alive on defense. Yeah. W for Meeks as they come across with a clean and fast shutdown of what was a play we saw deployed successfully in some cases by Acer against this Meeks squad, right? The Acer kind of barreling in all 5 onto a site. In that case, though, they went for a 3-1-1 split and tried to push pretty aggressively. So maybe a 5 stack onto A would have done them a little bit better. Either way, they're now going for a bit more of a split, and Random's going to open things up with a nade kill. So they're down early, a 4v5.
Down goes Civ, a nice headshot from T. Cray was kind of the sacrificial offering to the A site. Look at the scanner at the bottom of the skate. It's a big mid push. Ivy seem to have learned their lesson from round 3. Trade out. People may have heard 24 Gray's footsteps. They're just waiting here. No, from B site, Gooblin's getting fragged out. Oh my gosh, absolute madhouse. But B does get cleared. Here's the scan.
Yeah, we're watching that center push. Gray and Isabel clearing out their advancement up, but the scanner does go down. Fraza and T can tuck in, and T nearly getting picked apart as they drop back through the smoke. Fraza full health, and Isabel and Gray healthy as well. T catches Isabel. The swing out from Fraza, and a nice shutdown on the retake as IV don't let the 3-1 lead get too ahead of them. They're on the attack on Kitty. And historically, Kitty in Season 2 has gone to the offense. It's gone to the attacking side. And so IV need to be able to lean into that sort of advantage that's been developing over the course of the season. They should be picking up more offensive rounds than Meeks do on defense. But if Meeks come out with a defensive advantage, I think they have a real shot at taking map 2 and pushing us to that third decider.
Ivy could not have asked for a better duo to clutch it up for them there on round 5. It's Fraza and T pushing once again through skate. The duo, Fraza holding the scan, T contesting the mid. 24 Gray does not seem to be peeking. Out of the bunker, this all 5 colonists are still up.
Push comes in. IV down another player early. These early picks, not what they need. Quick refrag, though. Or no, that's another one down onto T, excuse me. It puts them down to 3v4. Nade that connects from Cray catches Isabella, so at least one. But what is the play? Siv's barreling forward, getting very aggressive on defense.
Yeah, Fraza with a quick little engagement with Civ there on skate. Scanner seems to be a lenient. 24 Gray finds a headshot. Bleach finds random, but still Gray. Oh, to their grave. They do so much damage. It's all lift up to Bleach. They don't have the scanner in hand. It's a Paza guarding it. Brutal position to be in. 1 versus 2.
30 seconds remaining.
They can get that scanner without exposing themselves to some degree. At least they're trying to, and they do get it. Ooh, that's huge. They can get that A site plant pretty easy. Why would they swing? Who knows? But they're going to go for a B site rotation.
And they leave that both of those engagements unscathed. Again, 3 engagements unscathed. They're rushing to the A site. The Rayab know that it's being planted. Civ pushing fast and hard. There goes Bleach tucking into the corner. They're still up and running, full health.
Push is coming through from the duo. They need to hit them from both sides, and Apaza on the outside angle will connect. Meeks are going to put their lead up 4-2. And they're going to continue to put on a solid defensive half. They're going to stick to the stats, Jump. Their regular season stats of an 80% win rate on this map. And, I mean, that is incredibly impressive. Granted, of course, I believe... Meeks, what was their regular season record? 9-3, so they actually had, yeah, that's really impressive for 12 weeks of regular season play.
Yeah, no, Meeks, they kind of rocketed from the bottom. They've been playing really well, and I think Kitty was, you know, I've been preaching since the first matchup today, and even I think even the last matchups for the. Even before Christmas and New Year's, I was saying Kitty is a strong point for Meeks, and finally we're seeing it happen. Gooblin, though, does shut down 24 Gray, and that's a big frag. Down goes Apaza as well. That's a huge kill onto random arrows. That clears out the middle. Here comes Isabel trying to collapse back. Civ, the only one on B side.
Yeah, they're support. They're not going to get it. Gooblin shuts down Isabel on the rotation, and now Civ is alone. 1v4. Scanner in the open for a brief moment in time. Civ catches another as Cray rotates down to the middle, gets the scanner in hand, and now they can go plant at A uncontested.
Really good movement play by Civ, but again, you know, they may not have known that the scanner was there on Fraza's body on skate, but now that they realize they are crashing back, not the most optimal position to be in. Look at Gooblin. They see the cross headshot, punishing Civ for the repeat, just like that, for sorry, 3-4 for the Ivy squad.
See some debate from chatters saying that Kitty is not offensive. Well, I probably watched more competitive VAIL than you have, buddy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. In all the games I've watched, most of the majority of them have leaned offensive. And so it's not a surprise. More so at the very least than Season 1. Season 1, this map was dominated on defense. It would be pretty standard to go 7-1 on your defensive half. But here, IV have a fighting chance. They may even go 4-4. Take an even half on the attack if they can. You push up to this site and get kind of trapped in the middle.
Some well-placed nades from Rayab, but it didn't really connect.
Oh
Gosh, Isabel lines up a double, catching Fraza and Cray off guard. There's Bleach to punish it. Another pretty close nade, just not quite. Down goes Bleach. It's all left up the T, less than half health.
Scanner's down on the corner. Gray knows it.
Gray must have spotted T.
Maybe not. They're trying to peek that
They're
corner.
easing it.
Yeah, they're trying to catch the info.
He's committing to the peak. Uh-oh. Oof.
Tough to
I think-
deal with there, but well played by Meeks for sure. 5-3 defensive half is very strong in Season 2, in my opinion. They now go on to the attack as we swap sides. And I don't know, IV, they got to step up. They got to put on a really good defensive half here.
Yeah, just for the record, they won the last series. I think it was 9-2 or something, right? Some
Yes.
really, really big contrast, and now they're struggling to keep their head above water. This time on pistols. Ooh, big find by Gray, but yeah, early 5-4 situation for Meeks now on offense. Scanner's headed up B, it seems.
Swap sides if you're not paying too close of attention. And we're back to the pistols for another round, and so it does determine how teams kind of stack and play and defend. Reach pushed up here to a very aggressive position, gets overwhelmed. And play your numbers dominate in pistol rounds. Sticking together is vital. And you'll see that typically 2 is better than 1. The swing out there ends in a trade back and forth. That leaves us with 3 alive on the attack, and Fraza to clutch up this retake.
24 Gray with 3 kills on the pistol round. 24 Gray really likes the pistol round here in round 9. I believe they hear Fraza, and again, damage done and health remaining is so important. Just like that, Isabel doesn't need that low health on Fraza. They landed that headshot clean and squared. 6-3 for Meeks. They're doing really well. I mean, I don't like to be the book guy, Knight, but it really seems that the statistics are speaking for themselves.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting if we factor in all of the strategic choices they could make today, right? They knew they were going up against Acer EU, maybe anticipated that they wouldn't come out with a win, so they didn't want to break out Kitty against Acer in the semifinals matchup. Maybe they didn't even want to break it out here against IV, but their hand was forced. That's why we took so long to decide map 2, because they weren't sure if it was time to play Kitty or not, but they have to. You know, it's do or die for them at this point. And so they're debuting what is arguably a very strong Kitty map, and it's something that Acer are going to be looking at for tomorrow. They're going to watch this footage back and try and prepare.
Super strong. Big nade onto bunker, but it's just a little bit too long. We're still in a 5v5, 1 minute 15 now, and running. Rayab playing pretty conservative. Except for Bleach, of course. We saw somebody give Bleach a... Whoa, that knife was pretty close. We saw somebody in chat give Bleach a crown for their optimal... Just incredible performance there. No, they get shot from the back. Civ, stealth. There's
Whoa.
Isabel finding a headshot. They want the A site, but there's 2 Rayab here.
Trying to collapse in. Cray is left alone, and Gray catches Cray. And 2 away is Meeks from taking map number 2, from pushing us to a Suna series decider. And Miru was dominated by IV9-2. Kitty is going great to Meeks, 7-3 right now. We can see it's basically an equivalent score disparity between these two maps, and then quite frankly, I think Suna destined to be an 8-8 tie-breaking decider for who advances on to the grand finals.
Yeah, I mean,
that's my tinfoil hat predictions. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Man, it seems like Ivy's kind of throwing this map away. They might feel really comfortable. Ooh, what a beautiful nade toss, but no, Fraza catches a headshot onto a Paza. And that's an early frag onto the A site push, but the scanner's still undecided. First line of defenses, Bleach, blind firing across the corner.
Yeah, they're trying to disrupt and prevent the rotation to that site, relying on that back angle hold from the likes of Fraza, enabling Bleach to play this aggressively. Otherwise, they're not able to. And with Civ catching Fraza, Bleach has to redirect their attention away from any rotation that could come their way. And Civ knows that Bleach is here because they've heard all of the pre-fire, so that nade is tossed out and comes off pretty close. The swing out from Isabel does get shut down, but nicely timed refrag from Civ.
Almost too late. Scan is about to hit B's site, but they have to get rid of Cray. That is a deadly fragger. Big engagement. Random connects with the headshot, and just like that, it's all left up to T to try to clutch this up against 2.5 players. Civ, critically low health.
Ooh, and almost catches T on the rotation. They do have info, though. That does go out to the team. And yeah, the defense knows that T is barreling into sight. T knows that they have limited time before they're shot in the back. So they're pressing. And they slow down for a moment. Civ catches them with the shots to the back. And Meeks take us 8-3. I mean, they are trying to completely reverse the scoreline here against their opponent after losing map 1-9-2. And it does really make me wonder what the heck's going to happen on Suna.
We've seen Ivy play on Suna, and it was really quite good. So I don't know if their Suna is just as good as their Miru. We could see Ivy really take this home and play Acer tomorrow, Acer EU tomorrow. But yeah, we'll see. Meeks' fight is definitely not over. They're really strong right now, 8-3 as you said, 1 point away from taking this map home. But the fight is not over. One more map, and they cannot let Ivy take it. Four defenders on B. Check that out.
Yeah, they are trying to play into a prediction, trying to anticipate a move from the Meeks squad, trying to throw them off. And I don't know how that nade doesn't kill Isabel, but they do go very low on HP as that frag bursts right in front of their face.
Fraza was trying to swing, trying to find a kill onto a pause, but Civ was there to protect them. Random with the plant. It's a 4 Rayab collapse onto the A site.
Like I said, it's hard to retake. It's hard to rotate from the defensive side. T catches a vital kill, and we do see defense take the offensive side of rotation up to the back line, right into the lines of several defenders who are holding down Scanner as Gray picks up their second kill. Looks for the third, and they'll find it on the round. And it's Meeks with a 9-3, a dominant win in map 2, and what a comeback from that map 1 loss.
I think Gray was the superstar of this map, leading with 16-6 KD. I mean, from the pistol round at the half and beyond,
yeah,
Gray did phenomenal, and that KD just goes to show you. And not just the KD, it's the fact in comparing it to the other KDs in the lobby, Gray did phenomenal, pulling their weight and beyond.
Absolutely. Let me update the scores to be accurate. Map 1, 9-2 in favor of IV. Map 2, 9-3 in favor of Meeks. What do we get for Suna? Because that is where we are headed. We've already played through Miru and Kitty, and there are no more options. The last to pick is Suna. And I can't remember the last time I had a series decider, let alone a bronze semifinals matchup that's going to determine if you're going to be locked in for $700 at second place or a chance at $1,500 for first in the grand finals. Meeks have an opportunity at a rematch against Acer. Ivy, a chance to come out with that grand finals battle against Acer through the losers bracket. It's a beautiful story on both sides, and I'm so happy we get to go to a third map to decide this, let alone Suna. So I'm very interested to see if we do get a timeout, what the play is from these players, if we see any subs, anything like that. But there's no debate on where we're going for the final map, so I imagine we're going to be diving into that third map soon. Maybe these teams need to charge battery for a second, so maybe we are going to have to go to a break because Meeks at this point are going into their 5th map of the day.
Yeah, they've been Meeks is the one team that's fighting against the wall. You know, they were in the winners bracket and they lost it. They feel the pressure from Ivy despite this kitty win. I mean, the statistics, I don't know. Both Miru and Suna don't look very good for me. So only time will tell.
Only time will tell. I don't know if we are in a timeout or what, but I would like to know so that we could go to a...
I think they are going. I think they are checking DMs at the moment, specifically Ivy. So
we'll have to see what ends up happening there. But again, another shout out to Axe Labs and our sponsors, Pro2VR and HyperX, for supporting the VRML, making these games possible, making this action possible. Can't thank them enough. And a reminder that after this final map, we will have North America going live at 3 p.m. PST. That is roughly 4 hours from now. North America will be going live, and those finals are going to be spectacular. We've got 2 best of 3s. And then tomorrow we'll have the bronze matchup in the grand finals for North America. For EU, we have the grand finals in the best of 5. So a lot of postseason left ahead of us, but it's just this weekend. So you're going to be sure to want to stick around. You're not going to want to miss it. We will go to a brief break. When we come back, we'll be diving right into map 3. Our series decider to determine who is going up against Acer EU in the grand finals tomorrow. Do not go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss it. Just kidding. I tricked you all. And it was a test of loyalty. That's what it was, chum. I wanted to see who was going to stick around and who was going to leave when I just say we're going to go to break, because you never know with these teams when things are going to start. And we're into Suna. We're into third map. We're starting. We're determining who is going to be our contending grand finalist tomorrow.
Pistol rounds, a slow sneak from Ivy, scanner in hand, a duo pushing up through pipes. No one's there to contest. They may hear footsteps. Isabel specifically. What a nade onto Gooblin, and that's just one. There's one more there on the pipes in 24 Gray. Not sure if they've got a second utility. That scanner's creeping up on A.
Yeah, it's an interesting split. The remaining duo are rotating over towards A, and so is the rest of this defense. You can see them they're shifting. As Bleach catches Civ and weakens the on-site defense, they'll need to reinforce. And you can see up through the middle, Fraza's trying to catch these rotators, trying to hit them from the flank when they're not expecting it. And now Fraza is pinching onto this defense, but the on-site defense is winning, and the nade catches Fraza out from Apaza. And again, the Apaza-Fraza battle continues as IV lose that round. I have to swap teams again, and Meeks go up 1-0. Pistol round, though, like we said.
Exactly. Can't get too excited. Meeks, I'm now kind of leaning with the underdogs. I really hope they can come out of this. Ivy, they may stomp. It really is possible.
Scanner now in nobody's hands as they don't want to overextend with it on this long angle. Civ is going to catch Bleach over at A. So B seems like the likely choice unless they can find some picks here. Gray's going to find one themselves, and IV getting picked apart on their offensive rounds here on Suna.
I can't quite understand what the colonists are trying to do because the scanner is on the ground behind Cray. Seems I don't think they've really picked a site to commit to. They're just kind of feeling it out. They found a pick onto Isabel. That's a big frag. They're in a 3v4 though. Civ is critically low health there on the A site. I don't know if they feel confident anywhere. 2 nades now have been committed to B site with no connects just yet.
30 seconds remaining.
I don't know what they're doing.
I think that's kind of
Pushing up pipes? Is this a B play?
Yeah, they want to throw off
Oof.
the team here.
That's really tough.
They're going to go for a middle push up toward A site, and the trade down puts Scanner onto the ground. The smoke is denying vision from the flank, so Fraza should be able to scoop up Scanner, but they don't. They go past it. They go for the attack onto the remaining defense as that clock ticks down, and Civ will catch the kill. Bit of an awkward push coming in at the end of the day from the IV squad, but 2-0. And Meeks are up in the lead on their defensive half.
Yeah, that was quite the fumble. I mean, where's the Ivy that we saw in map 1, Miru? You know, they swept the floor 9-2. I mean, don't get me wrong, Meeks put up quite the fight there in the beginning of this match, but yeah, they're looking really good. Maybe Ivy's still settling in to this new team.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a test. It's a test at the high level if you're able to bounce back from loss. Ray opens up with a nice nade. Apaza is holding down this long angle, making it very hard to push up. 2 nades come out to force Apaza out of that angle. Nicely done from the duo, but ultimately the ground they're gaining doesn't matter because Isabel, up through the middle, shuts down more. Gooblin gets picked up, and it leaves the duo trapped and potentially getting pinched.
He's completely thrown off, though T does come back. A nice kill there, but they're again they find themselves at low health. Braza is there. This is the Wombo combo. No, never mind. They go down in a hail of fire. It's 3 points for Meeks.
Get ready.
And what a tremendous bounce back and day for Meeks this would be. Coming off of hard losses to Acer in 2 maps at the beginning of the day, to then a tremendously hard loss to IV in their first map of the series, to then winning 9-3, now leading 3-0. I mean, it's a lot of game. It's a test to their stamina, and ultimately, it's a showcase that if it does come to the best of 5, if they do manage to take some maps against Acer, they're ready to go the distance. They're ready to play out more than 4 or 5 maps on the afternoon.
Exactly. Their performance here tonight, I mean, before it was honestly Ivy and to some extent Poise that were on the, they were on the trial of stamina, but Meeks, they're on it right now and they're playing so well. Here comes a possible peek from Civ. They immediately get shut down by T, but they must have spotted the 4. Hail of smokes, a time nade there on the cross. Doesn't catch anybody. It's 5 players up for the colonists, blazing through a perfect smoke line as Bleach finds a kill through it.
Comes Isabel and the rest of the defense, but through smokes, their audio cues are coming out. Fire's connecting, and nobody is finding anyone on this retake. The scanner's not even down, but they've got clean control, and Gray gets absolutely overwhelmed. IV with a very clean push finally connects, and sometimes those. You know, I think in most games even, and that's something I've said in other competitive leagues like Breachers, is when you 5-stack a site, you're taking a risk. Sometimes it's 50-50 that you end up winning with a 5-stack. But when you win, you come out like that. You come out very clean and with a confident point on the board, which IV really needed there. They needed to show, hey, we're here to fight. We can put some offensive points on, and if you're not careful, we can do it in an overwhelming fashion.
It's a huge gamble, especially, oh my gosh, Bleach What a killer through the smoke, finding 24 Gray, and that's a big early frag. This could be the Ivy momentum that they need, though Gooblin does go down. That will hurt them. Gainer seems to be another A-sided push, though it is at a pause for the moment. Civ at the ready with the audio cues, ears perked. Another mid push. Here comes Random Arrows on the chopping block against 2 colonists.
Smoke comes out. The push is definitely here, and Random finds them both. A devastating shutdown of what this push was going to be. Cray at least gets rid of Civ on the site, so it's a 3-2 retake.
That's huge from Cray. Manages to find a double, but look, Random Arrows, they want it to be a triple kill. The smoke goes out. It will be. It's all left up to T. Where's the plant? They can't do it. Random's too close.
Too big of a threat. If they go for the plant, Random will swing. Will catch them with their gun down and hand on scanner. The first spot they don't want to be, and that's the kill they need. Now it's a big rotation from Apaza, and plenty of time for the scanner to go down. Is T taking that, though? No, they're not planning scanner. They're anticipating Apaza's just going to full sprint. Their timing's off, and they do finally catch Apaza out. That was a little too close for comfort, but they managed to scoop it up anyway, and IV put a second offensive point on the board.
I wasn't just clenching my jaws there. That was really a nail biter of a round. I mean, that was crazy. I mean, we see T come out of one-on-one engagements consistently. And they always manage to be super low health. I mean, map 1, map 2, they kept being on, like, 5, 10, even not even 15 health. But that time they fought against Random and they came out with a lot of health, and that allowed them to win that engagement there on the A side. Into round 6 we go.
Little battle up the mid. Exchange in this firefight. A nice nade over the top from Apaza. A touch wide. Apaza battling it out again. On the long angle. Look at the short angle push. Gooblin finds Gray. Now a threat onto the back line of Apaza. Scoops up that one. Flies down the ladder on the hunt for more, but won't be able to find it before the rest of the team picks up the kills. And now Civ on the retake in a 1v3. And again, IV in control of site and the round.
Must have been a hiccup. Nade from Bleach! Artillery strike precision. Oh my gosh, 3-3. Here's Ivy. They're back in it.
Utility is something we talk a lot about at a high level. It's something that is really hard to be accurate with and precise with, but when you can execute on plays like this. A wonderful toss over the top wall that connects, and yeah, some handshakes, some high fives, and a round that ties IV up 3-3 on the half.
4 crosshairs were just scanning the B side, but they seem to be reconsidering playing back, waiting for maybe an aggressive push, but Meeks isn't giving in. They're playing conservative. They're playing tight angles. The only roamer we see is Civ. They're checking that. You can see at the mini map at the top left, Civ on number 5 is checking the far back left alleyway. They're on the A side, but no one's knocking. No one's home. They're all here on B.
Problem is, you do want to kind of maintain that dedication to that site just in case a rotation comes in late, because that's what we've seen from IV. They've thrown a couple of different paced strategies at Meeks right now, and I think it's what's getting them in these rounds. It's what's kind of disrupting the Meeks defense and their pattern, so to speak. That kill is huge, though. That center B site short pipes push is gone, and it makes this triple stack long pretty tough to execute on.
Aza finding this kill on T is huge. T again, one of the top fraggers for Ivy, though Bleach does go down to Random Arrows. A second nade onto the pipes. Huge. This is Rayab heavy. Refrag onto Apaza. Fraza connects with a trade onto Random Arrows. 3 left.
Round starting.
4-3 for Meeks. I don't know anymore. Ivy looked really good for 2 rounds there, but now Meeks is looking comfortable again.
It's the early picks, I think, that are setting off the winning team in a lot of cases here. And we did see that first early pick come in for Meeks squad and on that pipes push, and that really made it hard for the triple stack to execute off of. And now look what we're seeing here. A full stack towards A. Everyone pushing in. This worked last time, so they're trying it out again in the last round of the half.
But this time, it's random arrows hiding in the corner, ready to pounce. No, Gooblin, the Goobler, 24 Gray with the counter refrag. Oh my gosh, Civ is still on fire. No, Cray puts an end to it. They have A.
They have it clean. Apaza trying to find some kills through the smoke. Can't. Gray waiting for the smoke to dissipate. Might find Bleach unaware once it drops, but Bleach is tucked in just around the corner of the crate for the moment being until they pop out. Now Gray has to swing. They rotate out nicely. The timing is here. The duo is connecting, and oh! 2 for 1. Now 1 for 1. Time ticks. 25 on the clock. Apaza has to push.
Gotta make sure they're not making audio cues. No, Cray seems aware. They find the kill. 4-4. Ivy's still here. Into the side swap we go.
I called the 8-8. I called the 8-8. I put it out into the world, and at this stage, we're headed to it. The first half is tied 4-4, but we swap sides. Ivy defend, Meeks attack. Pistols are back into the hands of everyone in the field, and we see if we get to that tiebreaker round that determines who goes on to the championship and whose season's done.
Pistols, so this could go really either way, but both of these teams need this point really bad. Look at Ivy, they pull back almost completely from B. It's just D there, hang out on mid. Crosshairs are on D. Oh, they connect with one. Civ goes down.
Oh,
4v4.
Barrage onto the site. They're allowing them to take it and then hitting them with nades once they're on it. Those nades don't connect like they were hoping, I believe. And now, look at the swing. They're an offensive attack, essentially, on defense. They're going for the 3-1 split. 1 up pipes, 2-3 coming long.
They were just here on the round previous, so they should be ready. Cray connects with a headshot. Random response. Bleach goes down, and that's a huge frag. Apaza as well. Cray's on the up-and-coming, making it 2v2 with the 4-4 scoreboard. It can't be more tied than this.
The angles are a little off meta here. On the pop-up, a Gooblin's ready. They've got 2 to go for the scanner interrupt. They swing out to their death as Gooblin finds the kill and IV. Lock in their defensive round by seconds left on the clock for that scanner. But they get it nonetheless, and they're back in the lead 5-4.
Unbelievable. I mean, that nade onto 24 Gray is really what sealed their fate. Hitting headshots with the pistol is really hard in this game.
Yeah.
And, you know, Gray with less than half health couldn't really do much against, more, just more HP opponents. That was definitely an IV point, but Meeks could really show us what's up here on their Colonist rounds. Gotta wait and see.
It is the series decider, and we're into our rifle round for the last half of the last map of one of these teams' seasons. That's got to be on their mind in every push now. They got to be thinking with every death they're closer to their season being over. And whoever can overcome that pressure will be the victor. As we do get into a 4v2, actually, very much in favor of IV on the hold.
They're doing really good on defense here, and somebody in chat said, Fraza, lock in, and they are locking in. Holding the center line, a big kill with the AK-12, definitely dismantled that offensive push. We're hearing some shots there on the B site, long. We heard a head tap onto Gooblin. Gooblin's danger. Never mind, Fraza goes down. They didn't lock in enough. It's all left up to Gooblin to protect the B site. They go down. Apaza.
Wow.
Where's the scan?
They were worried about the rotation, and rightfully so. The timing was there, 40 seconds left on the clock, but now they have to push up to site. They have to retake B. Easy to do if you have time to split. You have time to separate all the way around the back end, but they don't, and those nades do not connect like they're hoping, so they have to push up through mid or pipes. Those are their options.
Yeah, they're both going pipes. All out brawl, a time nade. Oh, nearly connects. But look, Ray Aber's still full health. Ipaza's basically one shot.
The duo's going to swing out. Gray's on a pop-up spot. They'll go down. A 1 for 2. That goes into the favor of Meeks, and we trade down. Round for round. 5v5. 5-2-5. Whew, what a series, chum. This is what we expected this afternoon, quite frankly, between these two teams. They're the best in their region, or close to it at least. I think Meeks are ranked 3rd, IV is 2nd. And they're going for a chance up against Acer at number 1 in the regular season tomorrow. There's so much good EU action left ahead of us. We still got a couple rounds to determine who our victor is here as well. And I still think we're headed to the 8-8.
Jay in the chat is feeling the excitement with us. They're saying, quote, "This is so exciting." Could not be more literal than that, and I am feeling it. Oh, time nade there on the B side. It's 4-player stack, never mind 5-player. Scanner's still active, a 5v5, 1 minute 28 seconds. Random arrows just a blow away, and they fall. T finds Isabel. That's a big frag. 24 Gray with the trade. Just like that, it's a 3v4 for the Meeks side. 2 Rayab going for the flank. Is Civ ready for this? Paza's not.
Paza, yeah, they aren't. Civ's not to go down. On site, the battle unfolds as Random has to survive for 25 seconds. Can't do it. The kill comes in. IV, battle back for another scanner interrupt. And Meeks are at least pretty consistently getting the scanner down. And I think that's a threat to IV right now. It's what's keeping this so close, and it's what's keeping Meeks in even their losses. They're still fighting. They're still putting up a good contention. They're still getting close. And sometimes that stings more than just losing outright, but there's no big 4 left alive defensive wins coming in from IV right now. And so both squads are grappling with that momentum, trying to get it going, trying to get the lead more than just a point, but I think we're going to keep trading down rounds.
I wanna read out someone. I want to read someone's chat. They're saying that Meeks don't have quite the gun skill that Ivy has, but Meeks has better game sense, and that could be what could win them a position into the grand finals tomorrow to go up against Acer EU. Big engagement between T and Random. 24 Gray is there to pick it up, but look at Gooblin right behind T on the pipes. Scanner not quite hitting the B site just yet.
Nice kill there from Isabel to shut down the flank on the back end. They've been paying attention to what these teams are doing on the retakes, and they're adjusting to the strategies that are getting deployed in front of them. IV is continuing to go with what's worked for them. The pipes push, the long rotation on the backside, but Scanner still hasn't gone down, and I think they're partially thinking maybe it's going to be a rotation coming in, and it actually is up through the middle. What an unorthodox move coming in from the offense.
But they hear the footsteps, and they hear the gunshots. 2 are peeking mid. The scanner has crossed. Isabel's making a dash for it. It's up to 24 Gray to be their 6 o'clock. They find Craig, and they find a second. They might get shot in the back here. They do. Gooblin finds the kill. A 1 versus 2 for Isabel. Can they respond to make it a 6-point for Meeks?
It's a long rotation, and that's seconds down on the clock that they're going to have to use to get control of this site. And I do think Isabel's trying to lean into that. They're going to try and force the scanner plant. They're not going to extend too far out. They actually heard the double footsteps go past them now, so they have the right angle onto this defuse. And this squad has not found Isabel yet. Isabel's going to push up. Gooblin on the hunt. They'll go down. Scanner interrupt one-handed. Are they going to clutch this? Breach is interrupting. No, they don't. And Isabel fights for their right to win. 6-6.
What a clutch for Isabel coming out, making their KD 8-8, redeeming themselves and bringing us 6, a beautiful gift in this post-holiday January. A beautiful gift into the hands of Meeks. They're still here, and they're neck and neck against Ivy, who took them to 2-9 on map 1. This is so competitive.
Nades tossed. Multiple kills connected as Gooblin and Craig get super aggressive on the attack. It's a 1-for-2 trade at the very least. Frags picks it up, but that cough does not cost a pause of their life. I thought it might as Gooblin swung. Meanwhile, a push coming in. Apaza catches Cray out as well, and T is alone on site, getting pinched in a matter of seconds.
Oh. That nade nearly caught them, and they're getting pinched from the B site. T is still up and running. They're less than a little bit under half health. Random arrow takes the chance, and it's all left up to Bleach from all the way across the map. They're trying to crash back. I think they're going to go up through pipes. It's 2 left.
They've
on Meeks' side.
A lot of utility here. A smoke that they're going to throw to drop back into if they need. A couple of nades. They're going to come out to root out any defensive angles. And now that smoke to deny a line of sight in the back corner. The long angle, straight down the middle, though, is held by Random. They hear the coughing from Fraza and try and catch that kill out. And Apaza is the one that catches Bleach. And for the first time in maybe 4 or 5 rounds, Meeks are back in the lead in map 3.
Unbelievable. Oh my gosh. Ebro in the chat saying probably the closest game EU has seen. And yeah, I mean, here at the desk, we cannot understate that enough. We're on the edge. I'm on the edge of my seat. I know Nightfire has a beautiful gaming chair. I'm sure you're comfortable.
Oh yeah,
enjoying the show.
I am indeed, and we're getting a full press to beat. 5 stacked up, and we've seen distractions before deployed with 5 stacks, but this doesn't seem to be it as T catches Apaza with a nice nade. Cray gets Gray in the cross through the smoke, and now they say, okay, B's not it. After they all get picked apart, Meeks are left with 2 alive. IV on a dominant defensive hold.
Fraza making it 2 left with that headshot AK-12 is just a brilliant show of IV dominance. 5 up. It's just Fraza that's low health. Really uncomfortable. I mean, I don't know what they could possibly do. I mean, there's even if they were to get some kills here on the pipe, specifically Gooblin is on the chopping block. There's so many rotations, so many crash backs that the Rab can do with 5 players.
Corner peek goes Random. Gooblin goes down, and T is up next on these pipes firefight. They're also waiting for Cray to make a little move up through the middle to try and catch them on the rotation, but Cray's playing very patiently, tucked into the tight corner. Isabella's going to swing out to their demise as Cray catches that kill, and it's up to Random, alone, scanner in hand, to push to A.
30 seconds.
Bleach may hear these footsteps, but not before they spot Random on the cross. Where is Bleach when you need the peek? There it is, a headshot. In fact, Ivy, they're still here, 7-7. I cannot believe this night.
It's 7-7. We get closer and closer to a winner, but quite frankly, I got no clue who it's going to be. Map 1 goes 9-2 in favor of IV, if you're just tuning in. Map 2 goes 9-3 in favor of Meeks. And now we are tied 7-7 in Map 3, our series decider. The winner goes on to challenge Acer EU in the grand finals tomorrow for a chance at $1,500 in cash.
The pressure is on. Both sides are 2 points away from winning the series. It's so close. I can imagine the shakes that these players have got going on their hands. But they've got to keep a cool. They have to keep a cool aim right now. Especially Fraza with that AK-12 on mid.
Nice nade. Early frag been the determining factor in a lot of these rounds, and IV has 2 out the gate. Meeks getting picked apart trying to advance forward, but Meeks have also thrown out some great rotations that ended up getting him back into this series. And it feels like, to me, IV is locking in these late moments because these last 2 defensive rounds have been very clean.
There's T, that makes it a 3rd kill, only 2 left for Meeks. This seems to be an Ivy landslide. Where's the clutch? Another nade. It's a smoke, but it does connect with Gooblin. Down goes Cray as well. Civ's out. Fraza in mid, AK-12. Power play. Where's the scanner? Going A.
And Bleach is tucked into an off-meta position. They're definitely going to catch Random completely unaware. With so little time left, Random is not likely to check behind them. And it's an easy kill for IV to set them up into map series season point if they can lock in this next defensive round.
it's not even who wants the second place money. It's who wants another chance in the quote-unquote winners bracket and actually win first place. That's what this is about. Who wants it more badly? Scanner pushing up A.
Big commit to an A site, too. They're putting everyone here. As Gray fends off 2 with some beautiful nade play. Finds a third, can't get a fourth. Bleach cuts them down. And in a storm, IV say goodbye to Meeks. Advance on to Acer and lock in their chance at $700 in cash. But what a fight today has been, and what a series we got to tune into, Sean.
Oh, man. Heartbreaking finish for Meeks. I mean, they were so close. I could tell Ivy were sweating bullets because like, oh, wow, okay. We thought Suna was going to go our way. I think I better lock in. But you know what's heartbreaking, Knight, is that they experienced a disconnect, and I think Meeks gave up. They had a disconnect, and then another person just disconnected right after that. At some point, there were only 2 of Meeks in the lobby. I mean,
that was only at the end. I didn't see that on
only
my
at the end. Yeah, that's
that
true. That's only
end.
at the end.
They definitely didn't do that during the round. So yeah, it's just I think they had died, so they dropped out. But yeah, it's nothing of note in my opinion, but a great series nonetheless from Meeks as they fight hard through that losers bracket, and IV advance on to go up against Acer EU in our grand finals tomorrow. A tremendous battle from IV at the end of the day. A 9-2 win on EU really set them up, in my opinion, for what was the series win, and a really fun one to tune into. You know, we've got the match clips running from that series, and yeah, that was tough to say the least for me because of how hard they fought today. Losing against Acer and then losing that first map. For them to then fight back, it was so inspiring. I really thought Meeks might get that opportunity at an Acer EU rematch, but instead it's going to be IV with a fresh perspective going up against Acer EU, and Acer's going to have to do their homework. They're going to have to analyze how IV won today and be ready for those strategies to counter them tomorrow. Not a lot of time to work with, Chum, but it's definitely enough time. You know, they can find some strategies here, and I am really excited for our best of 5 grand finals tomorrow at 9 a.m. PST.
It's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be a blast tonight.
Shout out to everyone tuning in. Definitely one of the best EU matches we've had in a while, and a reminder that in about 3.5 hours from now, we will be diving into the North American semifinals with 2 series to play out at 3 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. Eastern. So we're not done. Today is still packed with VAIL postseason action. You still get a chance to watch the best of the best duke it out today and, of course, tomorrow in our grand finals. We do appreciate, of course, everybody that stopped by and our sponsors, Axe Labs, for contributing in $10,000 to the cash prize pool. They have done a tremendous job in supporting the VRML in seasons 1 and 2, and we cannot appreciate them enough. Pro2 VR for supporting the VRML, and of course HyperX coming in for the North American prize pool and supporting the casting desk. We really do appreciate all of the support we get from our sponsors. A big shout out to them. But that'll be it for us here in the EU semifinals. My name has been Nightfire, my co-caster Chumbe. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for the EU Grand Finals and later today for North America. But until then, stay classy. VAIL VRML is brought to you by XLab, Exclaim, Helga, the esports manager, HyperX, ProTube VR, VR Cover. Thanks for watching